program, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer and also a top Indian pro at the moment. One administrator who's doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much. You're starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking.
You're with India Matters on Monday night with me, Shiv Arur. Thanks as always for tuning in. It's a big political day. Here are the headlines I'm tracking at 8 p.m. 42 Indian pilgrims on Umrah in Saudi Arabia tragically killed in a horrifying bus-tanker collision on the highway between Medina and Mecca. The External Affairs Ministry has set up an emergency control room for the families. 18 people of one Hyderabad family across 3 generations have been lost in this terrible, terrible tragedy. It's a perfect 10. Nitish-Kumar set to be Bihar Chief Minister for the 10th time. He resigned today on the 20th of this month. He will be sworn in, that's right, for the 10th time as Chief Minister of Bihar. But elsewhere on battleground Bihar, the Lalu Parivar is in total distress. A dirty fight after the poll defeat has been ignited after daughter Rohini Acharya raises the rebel flag over the way her brother has been running things in the party. It's the party's worst ever performance in history. The Delhi blast probe has escalated. The NIA has arrested 2 aides of the Delhi bomber Umar. Even more arrests are likely ahead. Politics courtesy Mehbooba Mufti has erupted from Kashmir as well. Meanwhile, down south, the Karnataka Game of Thrones drama has shifted to the capital as the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister spent the day in Delhi today. Everything happening behind the scenes. DK Shivakumar has quelled rumors of his resignation, but is there a big November revolution ahead? Everything is obscure right now, but we'll keep you posted. A Dhaka court has sentenced exiled former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to death and sought her extradition back to Dhaka. Remember, she's been here in India since August when she was ousted following the student-led protest in Dhaka. And sex sleaze and files, the Epstein scandal is reaching epic proportions. Trump now says, release the Epstein documents. It's going to be embarrassing for many. Tonight on the show on India Matters, the Bihar verdict is still reverberating. The resonance, the shockwaves from that verdict are going to be felt well into 2026. And that's the reason why tonight on India Matters, I'm asking, after the Bihar bloodbath, why are knives out for Rahul Gandhi? Why is he being called Runaway Rahul? Is he the demolition man? Is Rahul Gandhi finishing the India alliance? All his allies are annoyed with him and behind the scenes are whispering against him. And I'll tell you about that and debate that as well. Then we switch to the Delhi blast, where some truly terrifying code words have now been identified that these terrorists, including Dr. Shaheen, were using on chatting apps in order to talk about explosives, bombs, etc. And at the end of my show today, I don't want you to miss what I have to say about a truly shocking tweet by a sitting Assam minister on the Bihar verdict that's become one of the most viral posts on social media on what happened in the Bihar election. All of that is coming right up. But Rahul Gandhi, on his shoulders sits an incredible responsibility and a lack of accountability. Rahul Gandhi has not been seen in front of cameras since the Bihar verdict, even though he went to meet leaders for important meetings. Rahul Gandhi, who has been front and center in fits and starts during the Bihar campaign, has been absent ever since. And the reason why we are talking about Rahul Gandhi again tonight is because he is leader of the opposition. He is the de facto leader of India's largest party. There is no opposition unity without the Congress party. And going into 2026, there can be no putting up a big fight against the BJP without the Congress party being a credible part of it. And that's the reason why knives are out for runaway Rahul. Allies are expressing no confidence in Rahul. They want him replaced in the India alliance. Rahul is walking but cannot fly. The truth of Rahul's performance is now writ perhaps larger than ever before. Is he leader of the opposition or is he leader of the demolition is a question that people are wondering about. With the vote chori war cry, did he signal a loss ahead? The focus was on Rahul's image building, his profile, and not on the Congress's strength on the ground, where they continue to be absolutely decrepit. Rahul Gandhi's confusion over endorsing Tejasvi Yadav as Chief Minister completely confused the voter in Bihar. I'm telling you why Rahul Gandhi should take a lion's share of the blame for what happened in Bihar. The Congress's arrogance, bad advice to the RJD as far as Mukesh Sahani, etc., all rest on Rahul Gandhi's shoulders, because no matter what anyone tells you about the Congress, it is Rahul Gandhi who finally signs off on all decisions. Rahul Gandhi took a preposterous foreign trip for 2 weeks during the Bihar campaign when he should have been in town settling things with the RJD and the other allies. Rahul's total focus on photo opportunities, thinking that that is going to create a big splash. And amidst the entire Bihar fight, and this is perhaps most glaring of all, what did he do? He dropped a bomb about faraway Haryana. Nothing to do with Bihar. He dropped a bomb about Haryana, completely confusing and distracting voters about what Rahul's real focus was. So here is who is annoyed with Rahul at this point of time. And it's not surprising that this list is pretty long. Take a look at this. Congress allies are annoyed with Rahul Gandhi because of what he did during the campaign. State Congress units behind the scenes are annoyed about Rahul Gandhi. India Bloc partners are openly irritated about Rahul Gandhi. They are speaking against him, including the TRINAMOL. The Congress's old guard in private, they would never dare to do it in public. In private, they are bickering and pointing fingers at Rahul Gandhi like they have been since 2019. Internal strategists of the Congress party, also in private on WhatsApp groups, are talking against Rahul Gandhi. Youth cadre in the Congress party, in large numbers we've seen on the ground, are complaining and expressing their disappointment with Rahul Gandhi's leadership, which has largely been absent on the ground in a state like Bihar. Which leads us to the question, is this Rahul's kiss of death? Everything he touches. Now, this is not something to talk about lightly, because Rahul Gandhi is no fringe contender. He is leader of the opposition, de facto chief of India's biggest opposition party and second biggest party in the country. Number one, vote chori messaging was a complete flop. How come he didn't get feedback from the ground that this simply wasn't connecting with the voter? Number two, lost virtually all the seats where he campaigned. The Vote Adhikar Yatra traveled through many places. Almost all of those seats have been lost. Number three, very weak youth mobilization. He did videos with Gen Z, talked about big youth mobilization, the Jai Viru of Bihar. The youth don't appear to have voted at all for the Congress party. RJD is a separate issue altogether. There was no booth level traction. All of the resources of the Congress were going into building Rahul's profile as a Jananayak instead of repairing and healing the Congress's organizational strength on the ground, where it continues to be an absolute mess. And the allies were being annoyed by the mixed messaging of Rahul Gandhi. Sometimes he would look friendly, sometimes he wouldn't be there at all. He would send people like Ashok Gehlot to do all the talking. He simply wasn't physically present to fix many of the cracks that voters saw in the Mahagathbandhan before the Bihar election. So here finally is that report card of Rahul's performance versus promise. Promise versus performance. Promise one, that he would galvanize the Gen Z and the Gen Z would rise up and mobilize against the NDA. Reality, zero Gen Z mobilization in Bihar. He promised that the Congress cadre would be re-energized completely because of his voter Adhikar Yatra and his vote chori campaign. The reality is they were demoralized and directionless. How else do you explain this kind of performance? Third promise, vote chori will be a revolution. It will completely upend politics in the country. Reality, as you saw, no evidence of the many charges and therefore no resonance as well. Promise, campaign leadership. Reality, foreign trips, long absences, ad hoc photo ops. And finally, he promised big rallies and a presence on the ground. And ultimately, what you saw were very, very irregular appearances. To summarize then, Rahul Gandhi is a central figure and must take a lion's share of the blame for what happened in Bihar as far as the Congress party is concerned. But more importantly, knives are out now for Rahul Gandhi as the country heads into 2026 elections. It's all about muscle and momentum, and things frankly couldn't be worse for the India Alliance. Joining us live, Swati Chaturvedi, author, political analyst and journalist. Tausif Ahmed Khan is a political analyst. He supports the Trinamool Congress, which has today in fact called for a change in leadership of the India Alliance. They don't want Rahul Gandhi calling the shots anymore. They would rather someone like an Akhilesh do that job. Kapil Madan is a political analyst. He supports the Congress party. Welcome to all of you. Thank you very much, Swati. Knives out for Rahul Gandhi. How do you read the many things that are being said about him? Are people being unfair by pointing a finger directly at Rahul Gandhi, or should he be taking a lion's share of the blame? What's your view, Swati?
Ashif, if you'll allow me the indulgence of using a Persian couplet about the later Mughals, which said, Sultanate Shah Alam, as Dilli te palam. That is the state of Rahul Gandhi. To me, he looks like a person, who is the last, is a flickering twilight, the end, the later Mughals, whose entire empire is from Delhi to Palam. And that's what he's done to the India Alliance. I mean, Rahul Gandhi should have retired after his second, he's had 3 general election defeats on the trot. He is sitting on 20% vote share, and he does absolutely nothing with that vote share. The tragedy is that, he makes the opposition look bad. You're going to talk later in your show about a viral tweet about cauliflower farming, which is a bigoted attack on 17.9% Muslims who voted for the NDA in Bihar. And yet we have no opposition to counter such bigotry. People are desperate. Where is the opposition? And the central blame for that has to go to Rahul Gandhi. Does he know that he's going to lose every election the way he vanishes? I mean, where is the sense of responsibility? He's lost 3 general elections, for God's sake. He may be angry. He may be personally angry at Modi. But that does not mean that he makes India's opposition and India's democracy look bad. Rahul should just now retire. He should grow roses. He should write poetry. He is cut out for everything. He should maybe do more yatras. He should, be a gym instructor. He should do everything but politics, because he is not cut out for politics.
Swati, as you've seen and you've been on the ground as well, rather than repair and heal and build up the Congress's non-existent party organization on the ground in Bihar, it looks like most of the resources of the Congress party have been poured into profile building, image building, photo ops, social media, YouTube and that kind of thing at a time when resources are very scarce. It looks like everything is being bet on Rahul Gandhi alone. I want to bring in Tausif. Tausif, Swati says Rahul Gandhi is making the entire opposition look bad. And I'm not surprised, honestly, that the party you support, the Trinamool, has called for a sort of, a de facto change in the leadership of the India Alliance, Tausif.
Rahul, yeah, that is true that a change on the India Alliance was demanded long ago, and Mamata Banerjee had even offered that the India Alliance, she is ready to lead the India Alliance at the center. However, this is Bihar state elections we are talking about, and we are giving much credit to Rahul Gandhi than he is supposed to get. Like, who's the chief ministerial candidate? It is Tejasvi Yadav. He held a press conference and he talked about so many things that went wrong in the election. We are not talking about that. Who's the biggest? Which party has the biggest vote share? It is RJD. We are not talking about what went wrong or what went right with
we
that.
certainly are.
The
We certainly are.
And you see, just before elections, the cash doleouts were given by BJP. World Bank fund were diverted.
Tausif, I want to interrupt you only for one thing. We've talked about the RJD threadbare. One second, Tausif, because we have limited time, I don't want you to go on a tangent. We're talking about Rahul Gandhi because he's leader of the opposition, the de facto sort of chair of the India Alliance, of the biggest party in the alliance. Going into 2026, we are not talking about the RJD on this debate. We have covered that thread bare.
No, we are talking about Bihar election. This discussion we are having is on the backdrop of Bihar election, and we are completely silenced on what Prashant Kishori's allegations or his party allegations.
This is a non sequitur.
And we are completely silenced.
Are you defending Rahul Gandhi?
I am saying Rahul Gandhi is not important. So unnecessarily, why drag him? Yes, had this been a parliamentary election, I would totally understand what you're saying.
He's leader of the opposition in
Bihar.
He's the chief of the second biggest party in the country. How is he not important, Tausif? How is he not important?
Why he is not important? Because it is BJP which has diverted World Bank fund to hand out cash doleouts. It is BJP which has increased the pension to the state government.
Your party chief doesn't want him anywhere near the India Alliance. Your party chief doesn't want him anywhere near the India Alliance, despite being the chief of the second largest party in the country.
Absolutely.
How is he not important?
So far, yes, India Alliance is concerned. That is for the central parliamentary elections. And yes, Mamata Banerjee had offered to lead it. And yes, there was a demand that Rahul Gandhi should step aside and make way for somebody else who can lead India Alliance. Yes, that long pending demand is there. It's a very popular demand.
Wants to come
that is in relation to parliamentary elections.
No, but you're saying Rahul is not important in all this, which is a preposterous suggestion to make going into 2026. Swati, you want to...
I'm saying Tejasvi is more important. I'm saying Prashant Kishore is more important. I'm saying RJD is more important. I'm saying all the cash dollar that was given and all the tricks that was used by BJP. We must discuss about that, whether this is a fair election.
Let Swati answer.
Shiv, there can be no opposition to the BJP without the Congress. Let's face it. The Congress is the single biggest party after the BJP. All these parties are regional parties. If there has to be an opposition to the BJP, it has to be Congress-led. They sit on 19% of India's vote. All these parties are regional parties. They cannot head the alliance. The opposition alliance, has to be headed by the Congress, and that is why the Congress is important. The problem is the Congress is a disaster as a leader. They need to change their leader so that we can have a viable opposition. Saying Rahul Gandhi is not important is ridiculous. It makes no sense because, unfortunately, the Congress is the country's oldest and now second biggest pan-India party. They have a pan-India footprint. None of these parties have any such, they're in their state. That's it. I mean, Mamta could defend herself in West Bengal, but Mamta can't even win one seat in Goa. So, what are we talking about?
No, that's right, Kapil. Rahul Gandhi is very important. We can talk about the regional allies all we want, but the fact of the matter is Bihar is done and dusted. Now we're going into bigger elections in 2026 as well. But when I say bigger, I mean larger in number in 2026. Rahul is very important, and the elephant in the room is what kind of momentum he gives the India Alliance going into 2026, and it's a very sorry show. You're on mute, Kapil.
Shiv, let me allow me to please start, and let me highlight that this selective accountability is not analysis. It appears to be a propaganda, and let me give you, very fact-based arguments why I say so. Please. You may recall under the Prime Minister Modi since 2014, BJP has lost Delhi in 2015, Delhi in 2020. BJP has lost West Bengal in 16, West Bengal in 21. BJP has lost Punjab in 17 and again in 2022. They've lost Karnataka in 2018, again in 2022. And the list goes on and on and on. Now,
they've never said vote chori, but
he is losing. Hold on. Allow me. me to make my point. Once you have, these series of losses where, the same questions whether, Mr. Modi is still relevant for the BJP or he is not relevant for the BJP, whether he has lost his, charm, etc. But what happens is when the opposition is losing elections, you will draw a,
are you really
an incorrect
comparing the
equivalence.
scale of loss between the BJP and the Congress? Come on, Kapil.
No, all I'm saying.
Okay, we've got a bad network with Kapil, but we were able to get what he was saying. Swati, is that even a comparison to make? The BJP has also lost some elections. How come Modi is not held accountable for that?
I mean, what about Maharashtra? What about Delhi? What about Haryana? Who should be held accountable for that? Every time there's a direct fight between the Congress and the BJP, the Congress collapses. So who will they hold responsible for that? I mean, the allies, the regional allies of the opposition can still take on Mr. Modi and the BJP. The Congress clearly cannot. And how can you compare a man who's won 3 general elections, who's sort of got his mojo back after Delhi, now Bihar, Karnataka and Haryana, to a man? I mean, let's just now try and see what Rahul Gandhi has actually won. And what has he won for his party? Why is he so indispensable for the Congress? Congress had if you talk to old-time leaders, the Congress had a compact with the Gandhis, which was that you win us elections and you are our supreme leaders. Yeah. When was the last election that a Gandhi won for the Congress? Priyanka Gandhi had a very underwhelming debut in UP. She's left UP. The Congress does not, Shiv, except for Himachal, exist in the north of India. If you don't exist in UP, can you ever? The route to Delhi lies through Lucknow. Where is the Congress in UP? Where is the Congress in the north? The Congress is currently in power in 3 states. And this is a party which is literally squatting on 20% vote share. So I don't understand what these people are defending the Congress for and comparing it to the BJP and Mr. Modi. It's just ridiculous.
Tausif, there is no question of.
Shiv, can I come in here?
Kapil, come in. Yeah, we've got that link back. I hope we have it steady.
Yes. Now, if you look at the series of events where Mr. Gandhi has highlighted the issue of vote chori, you don't have a credible answer from the ECI even today. How could one voter with a one image, one photograph have his name added several times, maybe, and it was upwards in 100? You don't have any credible answer against which really defends the ECI, the manner in which ECI is really conducting elections. Now Mr. Gandhi is on the roads. He is taking these issues one after the other.
In Colombia,
in the ESI, they're exposing the Election Commission of India. And perhaps I agree with you, this may not have resonated with the voters, but the message does not loses its significance if it's not able to reach the voter. The messaging was clear. There was voter adhikar yatra.
Point of the message, if it does not resonate with the voters, Kapil, I am unable to understand this philosophical
allow me to
approach
explain
to elections.
that. Allow me to explain. Yes, allow me to explain that. The message does not loses its significance. It's not able to reach the voter. Now tell me something. In
There's
Bihar,
no question of it not reaching. Everybody heard about vote chori, sir. Come on. Everybody has heard about it.
No, you haven't heard. Shiv, allow me to, please allow me to finish. Now, tell me one thing. Is unemployment an issue in Bihar or not? The answer is yes, it is an issue. Is migration not an issue in Bihar? It is an issue. Is the development not an issue in Bihar? It is an issue. Now, which is the government? In fact, I saw Rekha Gupta ji. She was making a political rally. Perhaps if you analyze her speech, she was trying to expose her own government. She was criticizing her own government because for the past 20 years, it is the NDA who's ruling. Now the point I'm trying to make is
but one second. This sounds like a laundry list of excuses. This is precisely why nothing changes. This is why the list gets longer and longer as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned.
No, Shiv, no. If you'll do the analysis, what we've seen in Haryana, after Haryana election, Mr. Gandhi's, I'm sure you must have also covered, you must have also analyzed. You please tell me how Mr. Gandhi was wrong. In fact, he could give a credible empirical data which you can verify which points out huge manipulation
I
of the
agree
voter
that
list.
I agree that the
Now, tell me
election
something
commission should be doing a press conference.
Now, hold on.
But many of the things he has said have been debunked and fact checked. But overall, I agree that the election commission should come out and hold a much more formal press conference. Swati, you want to respond to the points made by Kapil?
Now, Shiv, once
Shiv, let's take this logically. If we say that there is something wrong with the way elections are being conducted, the election commission is really not covering itself in glory. They need to be much more transparent. But if the opposition seriously believes this, they should boycott elections. Say this is a fixed match. We will not play in it. Go to the courts, go to the people, prove it. The problem is, this kind of denialism that, we haven't lost. The match was fixed is very bad for democracy also. Why are you contesting an election when all you're going to say is that it's not our fault that we lost? It's not really our fault. We did everything right. He's saying Rahul Gandhi hit the street where? In Colombia. I mean, the problem is, whether it's Chaukidar Chor hai or vote chori, why does the voter not believe it? Why is the voter not understanding this message? Why does a political party exist? To win elections, to get into power? What is the Congress and NGO just to keep raising these issues and let other people walk away with it? I mean, Rahul Gandhi's issues, let's talk about it. Vote chori, Chaukidar Chor hai, caste census. Now, Rahul Gandhi's, the Congress's vote base used to be scheduled castes and upper castes. You're basically being, ruining, you're kind of alienating your own voter base as well. So I don't quite understand what Rahul Gandhi is doing in politics, because none of his issues seem to resonate with his own voters.
No, but
if these are serious issues, why can't he convince the opposition and boycott elections?
The India Alliance is stuck with the Congress. There is no India Alliance without the Congress party, Tausif.
Absolutely.
There is no question of moving forward as a united opposition bloc without the Congress party. That is the third front has always been a complete, fantasy in this country. It's not going to happen, Tausif. Rahul Gandhi has to be in it, whether you like it or not. That's why we're discussing him.
So you are right. We cannot imagine an opposition at the center level without Congress, because Congress is a much bigger party, grand old party, and has presence in so many other states if we compare it to the other regional party. But you see, the issues that I want to bring the focus on, like I heard you say, that when BJP lost Delhi or Punjab, they did not scream vote chori because it was BJP themselves who was caught doing vote chori. Have we forgotten the civic body election of Chandigarh? It was broad daylight vote chori. Supreme Court caught it. But look, what did Supreme Court do? Let him go free. No,
I'm a little confused here.
The person was not penalized.
I'm actually a little confused
vote chori, no.
Tausif, you support a party that doesn't want to have anything to do with Rahul Gandhi, and yet you're the one supporting him more than the Congress supporter on the panel also. I'm pleasantly surprised that the TRINAMOL supporter is speaking so much in favor of Rahul Gandhi today. It's an odd
because
kind of
we are right now discussing the state election where
we're not.
RJD has a bigger
state election. We're talking about what this does for 2026.
The regional party
goes to elections in a few months from now.
No, in BJP, in Bihar elections, it was regional party of RJD and Tejasvi who had a bigger role to play. It was Tejasvi candidate. Rahul was not the CM candidate.
Tausif seems to be unwilling to talk about the debate topic right now, but I'll come back to you if we have a little bit of time. I want to end by asking one question finally. After this is over, Swati, is there going to, they've pre-booked their excuses and said vote chori. That's a separate issue. I personally believe it requires its own attention, which we have given its due. My question is there going to be a serious introspection, any major, restructuring, any big changes you see in the Congress party, or is it going to be business as usual with vote chori as a shield?
I can give you a very short, very succinct answer. It's going to be a big fat no. It's going to be business as usual. There will be no changes. Mr. K.C. Venugopal will keep presiding over Delhi te Palam. The organization will keep crumbling. They'll keep claim to have a resources crisis, and nothing will change. They will approach the next elections in the same shambolic way. Mamta is very smart. She won't even ally with them. This is one prediction that I can safely make on your show, that there's going to be no alliance between the TMC and Congress in West Bengal, because Mamta has seen how the cookie has crumbled.
That's right. And, Mamata Banerjee has been quoted in a famous book as saying that Rahul is a boy with no future. So, I don't see that changing, especially after this verdict. Kapil, last word to you. Beyond the vote storing and the excuses, will there be any real changes within the Congress party, or are they going to just sit pretty and say, we've done nothing wrong, we've done everything right, this is a stolen election?
Now, Shiv, as I said, when we had Bihar, when we had elections in Haryana, when Congress party lost elections in Haryana, they did an introspection. They did also, research to understand why this happened. It happened in Maharashtra also. It happened in Haryana also. And in Haryana, at least, there was credible information that they could discover, and they brought it, in people's attention that how Haryana election was apparently manipulated. Perhaps whether this has happened in Bihar or not, of course, they will be taking all measures. You may recall last time Election Commission did not share the CCTV footage saying that they don't have it beyond 45 days, or Mr. Ganesh Kumar was giving, an excuse, or he was feigning the issue of privacy. So it's not that they will sit idle. They will, do their own research. They will do their own analysis to find out whether it was manipulation or whether it was, some mistake at their, part, which require introspection. Everything will be done.
We'll have to see what kind of introspection is really done. I tend to agree with Swati that there will be some cosmetic meetings, some Chintan Baithaks, excursions in places like Udaipur. At the end of the day, nothing will materially change in terms of how the Congress is structured. We'll see whether the shock of Bihar will make any changes. Swati, Kapil, Tausif, pleasure. Thank you very much for being with me on debate number 1 tonight. And my second story tonight is us returning to the Delhi blasts of 10/11. Scary details have come forward, viewer, and I want to share some of that stuff with you. Words, code names used in the communications between the terrorists, Dr. Umar, Dr. Shaheen and others, have thrown up a really scary network of communications. These are terror words. It's almost a glossary. Imagine words like biryani, dawat, Dr. Shaheen referred to as Madam Surgeon. It's almost like a comic book, but this was actually real because, as you know, a terror attack actually did happen. But who is Madam X? What is Madam X? The chats of these terrorists are now in the hands of our agencies, and they're looking very closely at what some of these words may actually mean. Now, let me take you through bits of this terror dictionary. You have Umar, Dr. Umar, you have Dr. Muzammil, Dr. Shaheen, Dr. Adil, the 4 doctors who are part of Al-Falah University who used code words. Dr. Umar was the bomber, finally, remember. Biryani, we now know, was used for explosive material. Dawat, which means banquet, for a specific event. We don't know what that is yet. The message, biryani is ready, get ready for Dawat, is the kind of language that would be used in those chat communications. All of these doctors interacted on either the Threema app or on the Telegram app. Now let's show you Shaheen's sinister world. Dr. Shaheen, who is at the center of it, and you will see much more of her because each day is bringing more details. She was called Madam Surgeon by the module members. 2 WhatsApp chats under the scanner, frequent calls from 2 numbers. Take a look at this detailed report.
A hidden code language and a terror network led by Madam Surgeon. Dr. Shaheen, the alleged handler in the Delhi blast case, was repeatedly referred to as Madam Surgeon by members of her network. Investigators have unearthed sensational details about the Doctors of Terror, the Jaish module. WhatsApp chats retrieved from her phone show a pattern of frequent calls and messages from 2 unknown numbers. Both identities are currently under investigation. Neither numbers carried a profile photo and was saved under the aliases Madam X and Madam Z. According to investigators, the messages appear to be written in a coded language. The word medicine surfaces multiple times, and agencies believe it may be a code word for explosives. One message from Madam X reads, "Medicine should not be lacking for the operation." Agencies say the word operation was likely used to refer to a planned terror attack. Another message sent by Madam Z instructed, "Madam Surgeon, please pay more attention to Operation Hamdard. Sources say Operation Hamdard was the internal codename for a recruitment drive, a push to enlist female operatives into the terror network. With each layer of coded communication now being decoded, agencies believe they are closing in on the deeper network behind the Delhi blast conspiracy. NDTV Bureau Report.
So let me tell you the very latest as far as the investigation is concerned. The NIA, the National Investigation Agency, which has taken up the investigation, has arrested 2 more suspects. Bomber Umar's aide Amir has been now arrested by the NIA. That's him in that picture. The Hyundai i20 used in the Delhi blast was registered in Amir's name. It was in his name. The NIA says Amir has been involved in earlier terror activities as well. Amir helped Umar in apparently assembling the explosives and the nitrate materials. They also say that Amir visited a safe house arranged by Dr. Umar, the bomber of 10/11. Now, the president of Pulwama, Amir, sent to a resident of Pulwama, Amir has been sent to 10 days NIA custody today. In fact, NDTV's Akil actually confronted him while he was being produced in court today. But I'll show you that in a moment. Jasir Bilal Wani, alias Danish, is the second person who's been arrested from Srinagar today. The NIA said that Wani modified drones and attempted to make rockets. So you can imagine they were using technology of that kind as well as part of their terror plans. Wani worked closely with bomber Umar. So these people have also been picked up now by the NIA. Now let's show you who all have been arrested so far. In Jammu and Kashmir so far, Arif, Yasir, Maqsood, Irfan, Zamir, Dr. Sajjad and Jasir Bilal Wani, as I just said, alias Danish, have been picked up. In Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh earlier, Dr. Adil Radar, familiar face, one of the first people to be picked up. In Faridabad, Haryana, Dr. Muzammil Ahmed, Dr. Shaheen Shahid, Madam Surgeon, as she was referred to in communications. In Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, Dr. Parvez, and in Delhi, Amir Rashid Ali, who was bomber Umar's aide. Now, the car used in the bombing travelled shockingly through many VIP zones of Delhi before the actual blast over the days. Kartavya Path, India Gate, Akbar Road, Lodhi Road. These are all some of the most protected parts of what we call Lutyens Delhi, where all the political leadership, etc. live. The car had actually been through all of these places. It's been pieced together through at least 40 different CCTV images. Take a look at the story.
In a major breakthrough, investigators have reconstructed the exact movement of suicide bomber Dr. Umar Un-Nabi, using footage from 40 CCTV cameras across the capital. The Hyundai i20 he was driving, confirmed to be the vehicle-borne IED, can be seen moving through some of Delhi's highest security corridors. Dr. Umar drove the car around VVIP Delhi, Kartavya Path, India Gate, Akbar Road and Lodhi Road. Sources say the terror module deliberately chose a route through these VVIP zones to blend into routine high-traffic movement, making surveillance nearly impossible. Agencies believe the car bomb method was selected specifically to bypass the multiple layers of security around Red Fort. Meanwhile, the NIA has arrested Amir Rashid Ali, a resident of Pampore who allegedly conspired with Omar to execute the attack. The car involved in the blast was registered in his name. Meanwhile, the NIA has arrested Amir Rashid Ali, a resident of Pampore, who allegedly conspired with Umar to execute the attack. The car involved in the blast was registered in his name. Investigators say Amir came to Delhi to help purchase the vehicle that was turned into the IED. The anti-terror agency is now also probing whether the Jaish module procured multiple cars for attacks planned in and around the national capital. The reconstructed route is now one of the most crucial pieces of evidence, showing not just how the bomber travelled, but how the terror module navigated the security architecture of the capital without triggering alarms. The route map of Umar's final drive is helping investigators close in on the larger network behind the November 10 blast. NDTV Bureau Report.
And joining me live are our frontline reporters who've been tracking every step of this unfolding drama and the investigation. Akhil Jamil, senior correspondent with us in Delhi, the only journalist to have been able to ask questions directly to Amir as he was produced in court today. Pradeep Datta is our correspondent in Srinagar this evening. Akhil, what next in the investigation from the NIA side? Amir has been sent to NIA custody for the next 10 days. What are your sources telling you?
Well, Shiv, if you see, this is the second major breakthrough in the Delhi blast case. Today, what we have seen that Amir Ali was produced before Patiala court, and in which what we have seen that he was given a 10-day of custody. So right now he will be produced. It's very likely that he's going to be produced on November 27. And today, if you see, there's a second major breakthrough that has come that in which what we have seen that Jasir Bilal Wani has been arrested by the NIA team and he has been taken on transit remand. So it's very likely that tomorrow he is going to be produced in the Patiala House Court, and it's very likely that NIA is going to make him sit in front of Amir to basically to get the details of this entire investigation, because if you see, those two were the co-conspirators in this entire case. And the information that we have received, Shiv, from our sources in the NIA, that if you see, on one hand, Amir was the person who was providing logistical support to this entire terror ecosystem. While on the other hand, if you see, Bilal was the one who was providing technical support. So that's a massive blow to this Doctor Terror Module case. And in this case, what we have also seen, Shiv, that NIA probe has also found that there is ample amount of proof that the accused getting experts to make modified drones and rockets. So on that line, NIA is also further going to investigate how they were procuring drones and making rockets.
Very, very troubling details that you've been able to pull out. I just want to show Akhil, stay with me, and Pradeep, I want to show our viewers how Akhil confronted Amir as he was produced in court today. Take a look at this.
आमिर किसके कहने पे आपने ये अटैक किया है? आमिर किसके कहने पे ये अटैक किया आपने? आमिर किसके कहने पे ये अटैक किया आपने? आमिर किसके कहने पे अटैक किया है? आमिर.
Well, obviously no answers there as Akhil asked him, about any more information as he was taken from court. Pradeep, the Srinagar leg of the investigation is also hotting up in the wake of that tragedy in Naugam. Which way is it heading? Are there going to be more arrests? We know the politics has heated up as well, but are there going to simply be more arrests, or are we going to see some masterminds being arrested as well?
See, what the security agencies here are telling us that this is just a tip of an iceberg. They feel that there are many more people who are a part of this module, or either they are independently operating or they are associated with them. So they are trying to look out for them, because already we have seen that how two people have been arrested during the last 36 hours. One who was providing them the logistic support, he was the one who had purchased a car, and the second one, Jasir Ahmed Wani, alias Danish, he was providing a technical support. See, why this is really very disturbing investigation that has been conducted by the National Investigation Agency. Disturbing things are coming out. Why I'm saying this thing? Because, see, they were trying to use drones as well as rockets, something that is being done by the Hamas and other terror organizations. And the second thing is that so far as this investigation part is concerned, if you have to understand the anatomy of this terror organization, you have to look at how they had been using the terror dictionary, how they had been using the coded language, they had been using the word like specialist, they had been using the word like Madam Doctor, Madam Surgeon, Eye Surgeon, and even using the word like biryani. Biryani was the word that they had been using for explosive material, and they said that now the biryani is ready. Once they were able to collect the explosive material, they said now it is a time for dawat. That means they wanted to carry out explosion. So that clearly indicates that they wanted to checkmate security agency, one, and second, they wanted that nobody should get a whiff of what actually these people had been doing. So they were in touch with each other through Telegram. So there are more people what actually the intelligence agencies are looking for, because they feel these overgrown workers are the one who are providing oxygen to ecosystem of terror. So they have to dismantle that ecosystem. So everybody right now is walking in that direction. Let's see what really will come out. But yes, disturbing trends, disturbing revelations made by the investigation by National Investigative Agency.
Akhil and Pradeep, stay safe as you dig deeper into this murky conspiracy. NDTV is the only network, I always guarantee our viewers, not indulging in speculation or guesswork, only reporting the facts and reporting them responsibly, and we will continue to do that. Thank you very much for joining me tonight on India Matters. Now, the car blast at the Red Fort has turned the spotlight on two powerful chemicals, ammonium nitrate and TATP. No secret, you've been hearing about them. They're very capable of causing massive destruction. Early findings suggest the explosion near the Red Fort triggered by a use of ammonium nitrate mixed with fuel and possibly something called TATP. NDTV conducted a little bit of an inner look at what these chemicals really are about. We've taken all precautions. There is nothing here that is not easily available on the internet. We just want to explain to you what these chemicals are about.
Thank you, Dr. Prashant, for joining us in NDTV here in the chemistry lab. Let us first talk about what does ammonium nitrate means, what kind of chemical it is, and how does it looks like.
Ammonium nitrate, as recovered from the Frida in a large quantity, the ammonium nitrate is considered as a very explosive material, dangerous explosive material. And it looks, if we see in the real form, in the pure form, it looks like a white crystalline solid, or if it is the ultra pure form, that it may be the colorless. But here we have this ammonium nitrate, which is in the white crystalline form, so it is not completely pure, because it is supplied to the laboratory, not for any other purpose.
If we talk about how ammonium nitrate is it available in the same form we are seeing, or is it also possible that it can be made by mixing two separate compounds?
Yeah, definitely. It is not available in this form. It is prepared by using the two chemical compounds. One is using the nitric acid concentrated form. Another compound is the ammonia. I will show you the little how this is called the exothermic reaction. Exothermic means when the lot of energy is generated by mixing of the two compounds.
Here we are mixing nitric acid. This is the container of nitric acid which we have taken in very small quantity in the beaker, and second is the ammonia. So Dr. Prashant will be mixing both the quantity, the compounds.
So I take the few drops of this ammonia in this test tube. So this is, you can see the few drops of ammonia I have taken. So I have added the concentrated nitric acid. This is a highly dangerous material, and this is very corrosive. So always take a due precaution, and so that we have taken the due precautions so that the harms of the gases will not harm us.
And that's why we are wearing glasses and taking all
yes, definitely. If you see, so as I pour this drop-wise drop in the solution, the white vapors are coming out. So this is a great exothermic reaction which produces a lot of gases. So this is a very small quantity, you can see the gases are produced. But when this is done in the large quantity, so definitely a lot of gases are produced, and the gas process is exothermic. And the next step of this is evaporated and make it the concentrated, this ammonium nitrate.
What is the other chemical that was used as a detonator to explode this ammonium nitrate, which was present there in the car? We saw the bag also that Umar was carrying in the CCTV. It was captured. But how it happened, viewers? It happened in such a way that it exploded because the chemicals reacted so highly. They were so unstable that it caused such a huge blast. And imagine what would have happened if the 2900 ammonium nitrate would have exploded, sir?
Yes, definitely it is a matter of a point, because ammonium nitrate, as I said, it cannot explode at its own. So definitely we require some initiator that can explode this so much quantity of the ammonium nitrate. So as I said, either we can use the fuel oil, but that is not, the potency depends on the potency. The potency of ANFO is about...
Fuel, diesel, why it was not used, Dr. Prashant, in this?
Potency, depending on the potency. Because when we use the diesel oil or the fuel oil, ANFO, the potency of the fuel oil is generally 50% of the TNT. Okay. Generally, when we need to know what is the potency of the explosive material, we take the reference of the TNT. We consider TNT is 100%, and what is the potency of that particular explosive in respect to the TNT.
Let us see that how the basic chemical, actually the TATP chemical could have been made over here. And again, it is just to show you that what must have happened. Dr. Prashant has taken a beaker, and as we can see that he is mixing few drops of acetone along with the help of dropper. So this is some amount of acetone that he has taken. And
I'm taking another dropper for that. So this I will use the hydrogen peroxide.
So here is the hydrogen peroxide being mixed with acetone.
Yeah. So as I said, as such there is no reaction, no exothermic reaction, because for this reaction to continue or for the completion, we require the catalyst.
And so that we cannot use as of now because it's highly, again, inflammable. If I can just take that in hand.
We cannot use in any academic institutions or in the laboratory.
So this is just, we carried out a reaction mixing acetone and hydrogen peroxide to make a basic chemical that was used as a detonator. Along with it, one more catalyst is used so that it can, act as a detonator. And the explosion could have carried out by mixing two things. Must be quite surprising and shocking to know that all these things could be carried out in such a systematic manner at a point of time when all these things are not easily available in the markets.
Yeah, definitely. So it is quite surprising. Okay, so definitely it indicates that there is a lot of planning has been done previously to organize this type of incident.
A tweet by a sitting minister of the Assam government that's ruled by the BJP has gone completely viral. He was tweeting on the day of the Bihar verdict, and people are outraged and shocked by that tweet, and I'll tell you why on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Edge 60 Pro. Grab Motorola Edge 60 Pro today.
Namaste India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app, and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
Front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
क्या हाल बा? क्या है ब्रेकफास्ट का इंतजाम आज सुबह? You're watching NDTV. Coverage of the Bihar elections. Cricket style RoboCam walking around. This is a wave of a kind which was only seen last in 2010. उम्मीद से बढ़कर जहां आप जाते हैं आप पार्टी को जीत दिला रहे हैं. ओवैसी and the BJP right next to each other. क्या हो रहा है ये? आपने तो बिहार के चुनावी मैदान पे एक के बाद एक छक्के मारे आज. Prashant Kishore in his debut election in Bihar is not headed for the ceiling.
Results on NDTV is the top trend right now. Oh wow.
जो मखाना बनाते हैं वहाँ पे मैं आपको तालाब में देखा था.
Digital live viewership, NDTV is right on top.
NDTV has been the OG of election coverage. Everyone who's watching, thank you for your trust, thank you for your time.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities. Aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को 3 गुना करना है. गाजी, रोहन, कमाल से.
Tonight we need to speak very clearly, my friends, and without any hesitation whatsoever. A sitting Assam minister, Ashok Singhal, has put out one of the most shocking and virulent tweets seen in recent political discourse after the Bihar verdict. You've probably already seen it. This is the tweet. For those who may have missed the context, the minister's tweet made what he and his supporters now claim is a reference to an agricultural scheme in Bihar. But anyone with a basic understanding of the region's history knows exactly what this tweet is pointing to. It is an unmistakable reference to the horrific Logain massacre that took place during the infamous Bhagalpur riots that shook Bihar in 1989. In that massacre, 116 Muslims of Logain village were killed by a murderous mob, their bodies buried and camouflaged in a field with cauliflowers grown over their remains. The wounds of that night have not healed. They remain among the darkest stains on Bihar's history. And the cauliflower field metaphor is unmistakable. Every right-thinking citizen must not only condemn this tweet, but also demand action against Minister Ashok Singhal of Assam. Because what he has done is not clever wordplay, it is not political banter, it is a deliberate, poisonous, communal provocation. To allow a sitting minister of the BJP to casually invoke that horror is to clear the decks for perhaps the most communally charged elections in Assam and Bengal next year. Communal polarization has long been an ingredient of choice for political parties across the spectrum, but the BJP now needs to ask itself a question that should make any national party pause. Does such an obvious reference to a literal massacre of members of a community fit with the national ambitions India so ably embraces? Does this kind of messaging reflect who we want to be as a rising global power? The time for whataboutery and excuses is long over. It is not enough to say that all sides use charged rhetoric. The point here is very simple. Can a sitting minister get away with such an incendiary, poisonous and dangerous metaphor? What signal does this send to the citizens of Assam? What exactly is the line when it comes to communal hate speech? And what does it say about accountability when the tweet, as you can see, has already been viewed by 7 million people? It is still going viral as I speak. There's been no clarification, no remorse, no retraction by this minister, Ashok Singhal of Assam. Political cycles and elections will come and go, my friends. But India must unite and rise. We are one of the fastest growing economies in the world. We are lifting record numbers of citizens out of poverty each year. Our growth rates are being watched closely by a world that sees promise in India. We have a young population, as does Assam, that wants a truly Naya Bharat that has healed the scars of Jungle Raj and the wounds of history. So a red line must be drawn on elected representatives indulging in communal provocations that reopen those wounds. The only question is this: who will draw that red line? Thank you for watching India Matters. The buck stops here with Padmaja is next.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
Pulling us into this country. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all.
It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
We unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am. The course.
Good evening and welcome. Thanks very much for tuning in to NDTV. I'm Padmaja Joshi, and on every story that matters, every political development, every election outcome, the buck stops here. On the 20th of November, the new Nitish government will take oath at Patna's Gandhi Maidan. But in the interim, what is happening to the opposition in the state? Is it imploding in a very loud and very visible manner? Both the Congress and the RJD have met over the last 2 days to brainstorm after their election debacle. But what is the solution that has been found? What is the solution that is even being looked for? Is there soul searching? Is there analysis? A roadmap perhaps for the next step, the next election? Far from all of this, what we actually saw was chaos, confusion, finger pointing, and even outright violence. The Congress, which held a meeting over the weekend to brainstorm the reason behind their loss, came up with the same conclusions. The script gave you a sense of deja vu, that the election was rigged, that a 90% strike rate for the BJP is suspicious, that 10,000 rupees acted as a bribe for women voters, and that the voters of Bihar themselves are to blame because they did not vote for a strong opposition.
There is no more any speculation. Indians are now acutely aware of the large-scale voter fraud that's happening all across the country under the Modi government, in fact engineered by it. So if you have perhaps willingly or unwillingly become party to this witch hunt against Rahul Gandhi, it's time to step back. Because they're not drowning his voice, they're actually drowning yours. They're not after Rahul Gandhi, they're actually after you. He's just in the way. So get up, ask questions. Seek accountability. Because the issue of vote chori is not a Congress or a BJP issue. It's an India issue. It is your issue. So wake up and ask the questions.
What come from Bihar is unbelievable for all of us. This is not only for Congress. Entire Bihar people are not believing it. Our alliance parties, we discuss with all of them. They are not believing it. And we are doing a thorough analysis. We are collecting the data. We are doing a thorough analysis. Within 1 or 2 weeks, we will come with the concrete proofs. Because this process of electioneering is completely questionable.
ईवीएम में तो चोरी हुई है. ईवीएम के खिलाफ पे लड़ाई लड़नी है और बैलेट पेपर से चुनाव हो. बैलेट पेपर से जो भी हुआ है उसमें हम लोग चुनाव जीते हैं. ईवीएम में ही हारे हैं.
The RJD, on the other hand, had a Samiksha Baithak today, but leaders who exited from it said that there was actually absolutely no Samiksha or introspection done. Instead, the meeting ended with Tejaswi Yadav being given the stamp of approval. He was elected as the head of the Vidhayak Dal. Perhaps the effort was to ensure that the unanimous choice of Tejaswi as the face for LOP sends out a clear message that the party and Parivar are still united around him, that they are still rallying for him, rooting for him, despite the allegations made against him by his own family members. The allegations about how he mistreated his own sisters after the loss in Bihar. The issue here is very simple. Bihar's voters have delivered a clear message. The opposition, for now, does not enjoy their confidence. The shadow of Jungle Raj is still very much hanging over the RJD, and even Muslim voters do not consider the Congress and the RJD as their only parties of choice. In fact, even allies and non-BJP parties are now beginning to hold up a mirror. Leaders of the TMC and Samajwadi Party today said that Mamata Banerjee and Akhilesh Yadav are far better suited to lead the opposition, to be the faces of the opposition rather than Rahul Gandhi. Even M.K. Stalin, while reacting to the Bihar mandate, seemed to deliver a veiled message to Rahul Gandhi when he said that the result contained lessons for everyone. M.K. Stalin underlined that election outcomes reflect welfare delivery, social and ideological coalitions, clear political message, and dedicated management until the last vote is polled. Who do you think he was addressing this to? And yet, despite all of this, reactions from the Congress and RJD seem to show a keener interest in looking outward for a fall guy instead of looking inwards for reasons. The question then is, are you actually looking for solutions or harboring delusions?
इस तरीके से अगर बिहार में बैलेट से दोबारा चुनाव हो जाएं तो इंडिया गठबंधन की सरकार वहां पर बन जाएगी। उत्तर प्रदेश में सबसे बड़ी पार्टी समाजवादी पार्टी है, दूसरा देश की 3rd नंबर की पार्टी है और इंडिया गठबंधन की नंबर 2 की पार्टी है और अखिलेश यादव जी जननायक हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश में 2022 में उनको 3 करोड़ से अधिक लोगों ने अपना वोट दिया था। निश्चित रूप से अगर इंडिया गठबंधन की अगुवाई अखिलेश यादव जी करते हैं तो देश में परिणाम बदल सकते हैं।
No, it is definite that manifestation, the result manifestation has shows without any doubt that Congress acceptability and popularity is on that downtrend, and Congress now heading the India Alliance. But whether they are right choice for leading India Alliance or not, that question is now very relevant. What our leader Kullan Banerjee has put forward very correctly, that at present, seeing all the symptoms, that Mamata Banerjee is the ideal leader to lead India Alliance.
And that brings us to the big questions on which the buck stops here. Amid the review meetings that are being conducted by opposition parties in Bihar, are they really looking for solutions or excuses? What does one make of allegations against the 10,000 scheme? Was the election sold for 10,000 rupees? And when insiders in the Congress and RJD can see what is going grossly wrong, people who are within the first family of Bihar are pointing out where the problem lies. Why does the opposition leadership refuse to read the writing on the wall? Joining us on the debate today, we have Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Harshvardhan Tripathi, senior journalist, Dr. Jayant Jigyasu, national spokesperson of the RJD, Negat Abbas, spokesperson of the Congress, and senior journalist Rashid Kidwai. But I want to start with you, Dr. Jayant Jigyasu. Within your party, people are saying that the problem lies right at the top in the leadership of Tejaswi Yadav, and yet today it seemed that all of that went unheard. The same Tejaswi Yadav was made the leader of the Vidhayak Dal. You've made him the face of your party all over again. Then how are you ever going to find a solution?
This was an election of the system, very well managed by the ECI, provincial government and the government at center. And the results are beyond imagination. So people have serious doubt the way the ECI has functioned since day first. And this doesn't reflect the sentiments of the people, and this is totally different from the reality of the ground. For the first time, the government of Bihar felt the need for the welfare of Jivika Didis, and during elections on different dates, they were sent money in their accounts. And what a coincidence that the ECI deployed 1,80,000 Jivika Didis for the better participation of women in the election process.
But Jayant Jigyasu, hold on a second. You know, you find all of these problems. You know, आपके खुद के पार्टी के लोग जो पूरा झगड़ा हुआ है, एक सेकंड, let me just point out to you. Jayant, Dr. Jigyasu, जो problem point out हुई है ना, वो खुद रोहिणी आचार्य ने पॉइंट आउट किया है। हम कोई झगड़े पे फोकस नहीं कर रहे। उन्होंने ये बात कही है कि पूरा इलेक्शन मैनेजमेंट फ्लॉड था। आप भले से ही इलेक्शन कमीशन को दोष दे दें, आप भले से ही जीविका दीदी को दोष दे दें, आप भले से ही कह दें सरकार और ईसी मिले हुए थे, वो खुद कह रही हैं कि आपका इलेक्शन मैनेजमेंट गलत था। जो लोग टिकट बांट रहे थे उन्होंने गलत टिकट बांटे हैं। That is the bigger point. And despite that, I want to show that picture. The same person, Sanjay Yadav, against whom voices are being raised within your own party, today he was at the meeting. आप brainstorming कर रहे हैं और वही लोग जिनको अक्यूज किया जा रहा है वही उस मीटिंग में मौजूद हैं। कैसे आपको कोई असली रीजन मिलेगा?
No. Today all the candidates were concerned about the results, and the meeting held at the residence of leader opposition Tejaswi ji. Everyone expressed their trust in the leadership of Tejaswi Yadav ji, and he was made the leader of RJD, and Tejaswi ji is capable of managing all the contradictions, and he will lead the party as mandated by all the legislators. But I strongly feel that whatever is going on in our large socialist family, they are capable of resolving it amicably, gracefully, and in dignified
manner. But Dr. Jayan Jigyasu, this is not about what's happening in your family. Today at that meeting, there were slogans raised by RJD workers. This is not about Rohini Acharya.
I am talking.
RJD workers were raising slogans. Lalu ji in that picture can be seen trying to placate them. वो नारेबाजी कर रहे हैं संजय यादव के खिलाफ. वो कह रहे हैं कि हार के जिम्मेदार संजय यादव हैं.
No, nobody is beyond criticism, and that's the beauty of democracy. But this can be a topic and an issue of amusement and gossip, but this is the very sensitive part of our lives. And we understand that this is difficult time for a party, but I want to express my thanks to each and every voter who has voted for change, who has voted for at least one government job to every family, who voted for the implementation of old pension scheme, who voted for the better and quality education and strengthening the very idea of welfare state.
Okay.
So the emergence of...
So you still think this is a family feud? This is not about a larger problem where members of the RJD are pointing out problems. Shehzad Poonawalla, are you being a vulture? Why are you concerned about what's happening in Lalu Prasad Yadav's
that
family?
are a stronghold in the Sandesh constituency, where we registered the victory of more than 50,000 votes. This time, our candidate Deepu Ranawat was defeated forcefully by the administration by 27 votes. This is quite surprising.
Sir, there are many seats, by the way. There are many seats, by the way, where the BJP and the JDU have also lost by less than 1,000 votes. So we can analyze each one of those seats one by one. The problem that I was trying to point out, you haven't addressed that at all.
50 votes, at least.
जयंत जिज्ञासु जी, आप दुनिया भर की प्रॉब्लम्स देखते रहेंगे, पर जो सेंट्रल प्रॉब्लम है,
added on every booth.
जो सेंट्रल प्रॉब्लम है, if you are not going to acknowledge it, you are never going to find a solution to it. And the central problem is that there is an issue with the management in ticket distribution. And आपके लोग ये बात कह रहे हैं, आरजेडी के लोग कह रहे हैं, जो कि नारेबाजी कर रहे हैं आपकी पार्टी के लीडरशिप के खिलाफ, वो कह रहे हैं कि प्रॉब्लम कुछ और है, आप प्रॉब्लम कुछ और दिखा रहे हैं, प्रॉब्लम आपके अंदर है, और ये आपके पार्टी के लोग कह रहे हैं.
Everyone knows that this very election has been rigged, but yes, be it the internal problem or the external or the invisible, we have discussed every aspect related to this very disastrous and monstrous result.
Okay, this is a disastrous result. Okay, fine. Okay, one at a time.
Thinks of the next election,
why are
but
you
a
being a
statesman of the next
vulture?
generation.
Why are you dragging a family into Bihar's politics? Shehzad Poonawalla.
For the betterment of the next generation.
Padmaja, I have heard him for last 5 minutes and I have not interrupted, so I hope I'll get the same time. First of all, nobody is being a vulture. This is no longer a family or a private matter. Rohini Acharya is a daughter of Bihar. She has made certain allegations that Ramesh, Sanjay and others at the behest of Tejaswi have hit her or shown a slipper to her. They have abused her. They have heckled her. The only right thing to do is that those who preach about samajik nyay and ladki hu lad sakti hu should come out and take a stand for her. But rather than that, we see that the Congress party, Udit Raj, says that ye choti moti ghatna hai. Ye to nok jok hoti rehti hai. They say that this is not a Rashtriya samasya. Imagine if the women of Bihar would have been subjected to this had they come to power. This is not the first instance. You remember Aishwarya Rai? Now you remember Rohini. So both of them are making serious allegations. And the entire track record of the RJD, look at it. Champa Vishwas, Shilpi Jain, the way they abused Prime Minister Modi's mother. So they have been an anti-woman party, and therefore this question arises, and that question needs to be answered, especially by those who wear the big label of Samajik Nyay and of the Ladki Hu Lad Sakti Hu. Now coming to the election contradictions, etc. Tejaswi ji would do well, first of all, to manage the contradictions in his party and his parivar, and even Rahul Gandhi should manage the contradictions within his party, because all these allegations they make, कि election system का था. Shakil Ahmed does not believe it. Tariq Anwar does not believe it. Ranjit Ranjan does not believe it. In fact, Afaq Alam, a sitting MLA of Congress, said ticket was sold. A sitting MLA of RJD, Madan Shah, said tickets were sold. Ticket चोरी हुई, पर ये वोट चोरी बोलते हैं, बोलते election system का था. चलिए आगे की बात बताता हूँ. Now there are two factions in Congress or all these parties. One faction is the Parivarwadi faction. So Chidambaram says, forget ECI and SIR. He says, सीधा जनता is responsible. His opinion piece in the Indian Express says that the people didn't vote for us, it is their fault. Look at the sense of entitlement and delusion. Then there is Robert Watra who says, चुनाव फिर से करवा दो, हम जीत जाएंगे, चुनाव एकदम ढंग से नहीं हुआ. This is the Parivarwadi, and then there is a Partyvadi faction which is speaking through to power. But having said that, let's 20-30 seconds more. 95 election losses के बाद भी दोष डेटा में है, बेटा में नहीं. तो नाचना है आंगन टेढ़ा, उसकी तरह ही चुनाव जीतना ना पाए तो चुनाव आयोग टेढ़ा. बट एक बहुत ही अच्छे और बहुत ही प्रोफेटिक स्टेटमेंट मैं आपको पढ़कर सुनाना चाहता हूं. प्रोफेटिक. जब भाजपा हारे तब लोकतंत्र हमेशा बच जाता है, और भाजपा जब जीते तब लोकतंत्र खतरे में आ जाता है. ये गणित कांग्रेस वाले भाई तुम और तुम्हारी पार्टी समझा सकती है. हार कबूल करो और 25 की तैयारी करो. श्रीमती निगत अब्बास जी, 3:35, 9 तारीख 2020, 2 फरवरी. दूसरे उसके बाद भाजपा बंगाल में मेहनत करती है और कांग्रेसी आंदोलन और विदेश में घूमते हैं. फिर बोलेंगे ईवीएम हैक हो गया. श्रीमती निगत अब्बास, 6:19, 6/2/2021. अब ये वाली निगत का भरोसा करना है, ये वाली निगत का भरोसा.
ओके, निगत अब्बास, नाच ना जाने आंगन टेढ़ा.
पेपर शुरू हो गया.
Good evening, Padmaja, to you, to my co-panelists and the viewers. First of all, this is very strange that I didn't know, Padmaja, that the debate was about Nigat Abbas and Shehzad Poonawalla. Like, I can also expose Shehzad Poonawalla by putting out his videos where he said that Narendra Modi और अमित शाह तो तड़ी पार वाले लोग हैं और ये तो NRC कराएंगे और ये मुसलमानों को धक्के मेरे का. Shut up, Shehzad Poonawalla, don't you dare.
Okay, let's keep it civil. You know, say everything, expose each other, that's perfectly fine.
By personally,
let's keep it civil.
First of all.
अरे ये ट्वीट
No, Padmaja, you yourself have come from a different channel to a different channel. People change channels, people change ideologies. I have
people do change channels, but what you think remains pretty much the same, because that is individual.
People,
ideology,
thinking and serious allegations. Do you tell me Shehzad Poonawalla today sitting at your channel cannot talk about BJP because once he was a Congress.
But I never blamed EC before when Congress used to lose.
Do not teach me.
I never blamed.
Personal Shehzad Poonawalla. I do not come from a party where I can go below the belt like you do every time. Do not try to.
Not below the belt. This is your stand. I think you are on.
I did not.
Okay, let's come back to the topic. Fine. This is not about you. This is about the
issue.
It is about the issue.
For not letting Shehzad Poonawalla playing like a monster here over a woman. This is your responsibility, not mine, Padmaja. I am not going to take my personal attacks. This is your responsibility.
Okay, let me make a few things very clear.
I'm sure
nobody is
Mr. Adani
allowed
is
to
watching
make
as to
personal
what
attacks.
NDTV is doing.
This was about a political stand you took, and
Yes,
you are
he's
very
not.
welcome to expose Shehzad Poonawala
Okay, so political
on
stand.
all the
Okay,
things that he has
Padmaja,
said
done.
about the BJP
Done,
when he
let's
was in the
talk-
Congress.
Done,
That is
Padmaja, I
perfectly
heard
legit.
you. Let's talk about the political stand.
Let's talk about the issue.
the political
But
stand
just to be
in
clear,
the
this
context
wasn't a
of
personal
Bihar.
attack,
Now,
it's about
Narendra
political
Modi ने कहा
ideology.
कि
Go on.
नीतीश कुमार नहीं सुनिए Padmaja, do not speak over me. Let's talk about the political context. Let's talk about the Prime Minister Narendra Modi telling the people of Bihar that Nitish Babu का तो DNA खराब है. वो political stance के बारे में आज बात करते हैं. Let's talk about the political stance of Ajit Pawar and Narendra Modi saying 70,000 करोड़ का घोटाला किया है. 4 दिन में उन्होंने पार्टी काहे ज्वाइन कराई. Let's talk about the political context. शहजाद पूनावाला कौन है? मैं तो नरेंद्र मोदी के बारे में सवाल पूछ रही हूँ. अपनी तो क्या ही बोलेंगे. खैर, I don't want to come on that. Now let's talk about Bihar.
Yes.
Because this is coming from the भारतीय जनता पार्टी की spokesperson महिलाओं के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. This is the same party. How you guys treated the female wrestlers, we all saw that. So let's not even go there. आपने election commission की बात करी. What is Bihar's politics right now? It is so much clear. Look at what is happening at the election commission. One fine day they tell us कि बिहार में तो 7.42 crore voters है. On the day of polling it rises up to 7.45 crores. ये 3 लाख voters कहाँ से आए रे भैया? 10-15 दिनों में how do you take the responsibility of verifying and the authenticity of these voters of 3 lakhs? Spike कैसे हो जाता है? कहाँ बैठकर फर्रे बना रहे थे? You have to tell me that. I didn't want to go there.
No, you should go there. You should go there.
Why don't you go there?
Because here's the thing. Hold on a second. You know, a lot of these allegations are made, Nigat Abbas, which do not get borne out by facts.
Bharatiya Janata Party. No.
No, this is not about the Bharatiya Janata Party. You are saying an entire election.
Bharatiya Janata Party. Bharatiya Janata Party. No. Padmaja, please allow me to speak. I did not speak over anyone. You did not speak over anyone. Let me speak. It started from a personal comment. Otherwise, I really would have not made any personal comment.
So let's come to facts, because I think this is going into the realm of rhetoric.
BJP's.
One of the charges that you made today, Nigat Abbas. Hold on a second.
I'll tell you.
Let me bring it down to facts again. Please, no. Otherwise, we're going to have a shouting match.
1984.
One of the allegations made today was.
30 years.
One of the allegations, I will request your silence for 30 seconds. One of the allegations that was made today is that the evidence for this election being rigged is that BJP has a strike rate of 90%. And that never happens. Let me give you an example of how this has it's not only possible, but it's fairly common. It has happened multiple times. It's just that now you choose to notice it, or now you choose to underline it. What are the various examples? Just last year, in the Sikkim Assembly election, SKM contested on 32 seats and won 31 out of them, which means a strike rate of 97%. That's not all. Let's shift our focus then to Odisha. In 2014, in the Odisha Assembly election, BJD contested on 147 seats and won 117 out of it, which means that their strike rate was 80%. In 2024, in the Andhra Pradesh Assembly election, TDP contested 144 seats and they won a whopping 135, which means that their strike rate was 93.75%. In the Andhra Pradesh Assembly election again last year, the Janasena contested 21 seats and won all 21, which means their strike rate was 100%. In the Delhi Assembly election of 2015, Aam Aadmi Party contested 70 seats and won 67. They have a strike rate of 93% there. Then in 2020, in the Delhi Assembly election, Aam Aadmi Party contested on 70 seats and won 62, which means their strike rate is 86.11. And then in Odisha 2014, BJD contested on 147 seats and won 117, which means their strike rate was 80%. The thing is, Nigat Abbas, it happens. You only need to look at the facts. It is very, very easy to palm everything off as rigging hui hai, EC ne jita diya hai. But the fact is, this is the democratic process. There was a time when the Congress was sweeping elections across the country because the opposition was weak. Now you are weak and the BJP is sweeping.
Okay, so let me come back to this. Let's talk about those 30 years from 1984 to 2014. Almost every national election was lost by Bharatiya Janata Party, and time again, they lost the states like Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Bengal, Karnataka, and the southern states and everything. Nobody asked them to change the leadership. They're still dealing with the same leadership. Now coming back to as what the Election Commission has done and why do we call it as a vote chori?
How is it vote chori? One of the examples that you gave that they have a strike rate of 90%. I just showed you that plenty of other parties got 90% as well.
How one foreigner human being is registered in India as a voter with 22 different names. This is something
there's no foreigner who's registered. It's been fact-checked.
Why?
Padmaja, which alternate reality are we living in?
10,000 rupees during the time of elections. Why it was not considered as a violation of the Model Code of Conduct? Why is that Election Commission and BJP seen hand in hand when they're trying to win the elections? With full responsibility, we say that Ganesh Kumar has won by stitching the numbers for BJP and JDU in Bihar over the people and the mandate.
Was that foreigner registered in Bihar? Is that foreigner registered in Bihar? Did she vote in Bihar, ma'am?
No, oh my God, Padmaja, please explain me, since you're trying to defend BJP. Please explain me as to how 3 lakh voters in last 10 to 15 days were increased. Why will you not ask that question to Shehzad Poonawala?
Okay, that was actually asked to the Election Commission as well. But answer, how did you increase your voters and they all voted for the BJP?
Now, one by one, I've noted that there were 8 or 9 points she raised. Let me answer a few of them. Let's start with the 7.42 and 7.55 crore. As you can see, the Election Commission said that when they first gave out the electoral roll, the draft roll, it was 7.42 crores. People kept submitting Form 6, because of which there were additions, and the final roll with the supplementary additions was 7.45. Nigat saw 7.42. She didn't bother to check the last roll. Point number 1. Point number 2, no foreigner was registered 22 times in Haryana to vote. They were Indians who voted. This has been fact-checked by your favorite publications. But Nigat spews lies and goes away, no problem, it doesn't matter. Please, madam, I did not interrupt you and I've kept my calm. Thank you very much.
How is about Bihar? We have debated that Brazilian model
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What does the Brazilian, please silence.
I'm not yielding.
What does the Brazilian model have to do with Bihar?
I'm not yielding. Let me make my point.
Finish your point.
Let me make my point. Now, if there is vote chori,
you're the same person who used to call Modi, Shah to Hitler.
I am keeping my patience and I will like to complete my points. If there is vote chori, it was not there in Jubilee Hills. It was not there in Rajasthan Anta. It was not there in Himachal Pradesh. It was not there in Karnataka. It was not there in Telangana elections. It was not there in Bengal elections. Only the vote chori happens when the Congress party loses and the BJP wins. ठीक है, चलो, no problem. उसके आगे बढ़ते. They used to make this allegation about EVMs. 41 times the court said nothing wrong with the EVMs. They said about Maharashtra. Supreme Court said nothing wrong in Maharashtra. They said about Haryana. Kumari Shelja said nothing was wrong in Haryana. We lost because of Hooda. They said about Aland and Mahadevpura. Both the cases, nothing came out of it. Mahadevpura, in fact, went to the High Court and nothing came out of it. But now, last 20 seconds, I asked, and without getting any amount of personal, even Nigat, when she was in the other party, at that time, she rejected the claims about EVMs being manipulated or election chori happening. I am only asking Nigat that even when I was in the Congress, I never allowed Congress or echoed this stand of Congress. I said it was stupid for them to say this. Now, Nigat, I am asking you that was your stand back then wrong, or is your stand today wrong? Please tell me that do you believe that EVMs can be rigged? Because you used to say EVMs can't be rigged.
Okay, Nigat Abbas, then I really need to open this up. Nigat Abbas, 30 seconds, please.
Stop looking for my videos. Give your answer.
Stand on this.
Stop looking for my videos. Give your answer. ये लो, अब तब तक मैं ही चला देता हूँ कुछ.
भ्रष्टाचार और परिवारवाद की रंगोली बनी. जो 70 रुपए की दाल खाता था और ये लोग, तो ये सारी चीजें जो है जुमलेबाजी करने में मैं मोदी जी को नंबर 1 घोषित करता हूँ. बहुत अच्छी जुमलेबाजी करते हैं, पर जमीन पे क्या हकीकत है वो आम आदमी से पूछे. जो 70 रुपए की दाल खाता था और ये लोग नारे लगाते थे, आज वो दाल कितने की बिक रही है. और इनका एजेंडा क्या है कि लव जिहाद हो रहा है, कि भाई और बहन भी जाते तो रोमियो स्क्वाड पकड़ लेता है.
Okay, what was he saying? I think Nigat Abbas is exposing you now, Shehzad Poonawala.
I am so exposed, but what is her...
What is it? What is it that you were playing?
Is EVM ka verdict of Supreme Court right or wrong? Is Maharashtra ka verdict of Supreme Court right or wrong? Is Mahadevpura ka verdict by the Tamil Nadu High Court right or wrong? That's the simple answer. And TMC saying Rahul Gandhi is incompetent. Forget me, chalo.
Okay,
I'm lying. Rahul Gandhi is incompetent. TMC has said.
Okay, we'll just try and repatch Nikat Abbas, but I want to go across to Rashid Kidwai and Harshvardhan Tripathi. Now, Rashid Kidwai, there is a problem, or is this just being made up by the BJP and its ecosystem? Because it's not just Rohini Acharya, it is not just Tej Pratap Yadav. I want to read out what the former RJD National Vice President Shivanand Tiwari, he wrote on Facebook. He said कि तेजस्वी यादव सपनों की दुनिया में मुख्यमंत्री की शपथ ले रहे थे. उनसे मैंने कहा कि आप सड़क पर उतरो, संघर्ष करो, पुलिस की मार खाओ, जेल जाओ. उनको झकझोर कर मैं उनके सपनों में विघ्न डाल रहा था. लालू यादव धृतराष्ट्र की तरह बेटे के लिए राज सिंहासन को गर्म रख रहे थे. Essentially saying that Tejasvi Yadav was living in his dreams and Lalu Prasad had shut his eyes to what is happening. You've got people within the Congress, people like Rashid Alvi, people like Akhilesh Singh, who are saying that we were missing on the ground. Are we still supposed to ignore all of that, or will there be some acknowledgement of what is the real problem?
Thank you, Padmaja. I think in a lighter vein, I want to just first what was going on between Nigat Abbas and Shehzad. I would want to comment that every political entity has a right to live and learn. And that is why this kind of, changes in the party instances and not take place. So don't take it too hard. Both are my friends. I just want to say you have a right to live, learn and live. And that is the manifestation.
But you have to progress, not digress.
Padmaja, there is very poor, track record of political parties.
But you digress. One at a time, please. Let him speak. Let him speak. Rashid Kidwai.
So there is a very poor track record of political parties when they face, this thing pulled battle to, come and take some kind of any corrective step or introspect. Look at the Congress party. You will be surprised. There are 4, and I repeat, 4 reports that were submitted by Mr. A.K. Antony, known as Antony reports. The first Antony report came way back in 1996. Many of the people who voted in Bihar, they may not have been born in 1996. So that is a track record of Congress party, because every time the idea is to protect, the leader, the top leader, the general secretary in charge in that order. And disgruntled voices speak, and then there's come some kind of Rajya Sabha seats and all, which are coming next year in April. So there will be a sort of, silence. I don't think there's going to be any agitation. Now comes, Padmaja, very important point about intra-party alliance. And intra-party alliance was within Mahagathbandhan was very unstable, very bad and very, I would say, chaotic from the beginning. Many a time when, Rahul Gandhi and there was very little sort of interaction was there between Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav and other players. So from the beginning, it was, in a way, it was doomed. And this spectacle of, throwing chappal and all, and actually there should be a criminal case, because a violence against women is not just, permitted by law. And if she complains about it, then there should be actually a legal action against Tejasvi. So this is showing very bad, the entire India alliance in a very bad light. And Rahul Gandhi, last point from my side, is a very, poor alliance leader. You look at his, you look at Akhilesh, you look at Arvind Kejriwal, you look at Mamata Banerjee. There is no sort of, except for Stalin, there is no sort of, great respect or mutual respect, I would say, that Rahul Gandhi enjoys with any of the, India alliance partners. So this is a very grim situation. I think the opposition will be better off just to accept defeat in a, graceful manner. I know what Nigat is trying to make. Vote chori was an allegation that needed to be probed by the election commission.
Yes.
And not, you see, the outcome we cannot put a mandate theory to it that no, there was no vote chori. Vote chori allegation is a serious, as I said, it's about, free and fair election. So in that, but the Congress is not being able to make that distinction. They are looking like a, poor loser.
Okay, looking like a poor loser, and I want to play out for you what people. Tariq Anwar is a sitting member of parliament from Bihar for the Congress party, and yet even he thinks that they were not seen on the ground. Rashid Alvi, Akhilesh Prasad Singh.
Padmaja, he's chairman of Congress Disciplinary Committee. So glaring, so paradoxical.
Imagine, if somebody who's the chairman of the disciplinary committee thinks that you do not have the discipline to fight an election, what can one say? Let's listen to what they said. I'm coming to you, Harshvardhan ji, after that.
सीट शेयरिंग में भी हम लोगों ने काफ़ी डिले किया, उसका भी असर हुआ. हमें फ़ौरन काम शुरू कर देना चाहिए. और हमको हमारे साथ कांग्रेस पार्टी का ये है, जो स्टाइल ऑफ वर्किंग है, उसमें है कि जब इलेक्शन को 6 महीना बचता है तब हमारी नींद टूटती है. तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए. 5 साल लगातार काम करने की आवश्यकता है. और 24/7 काम करने की ज़रूरत।
हर्षवर्धन जी, ये हमने बार बार क्रिटिसिज्म सुना है और बहुत से लोग कहते हैं कि ये डिसग्रंटेड लोग हैं, साइड लाइन हो जाते हैं। मुकेश सहनी ने कहा कि ऐसे लोग ना 3 में ना 13 में, ये खुद को हाशिए पे जब पाते हैं तो फिर ये मीडिया में आके बोलना शुरू हो जाते हैं। बट इन अ सेंस व्हाट रोहिणी आचार्य सेड सीम टू अंडरलाइन द फैक्ट कि जब पानी सर से इतना ऊपर निकल जाता है कि विद इन योर फैमिली पीपल हैव टू स्पीक एंड से व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन।
देखिए पद्मजा, सबसे पहले तो ये कि राहुल जी की हम लोग आलोचना करते हैं। अनवर साहब ने भी कहा कि 365 डेज काम करना है, और वो तो देखिए उससे पहले ही पचमढ़ी चले गए थे। वहाँ जाके उन्होंने अपनी जो ट्रेनिंग कैंप है वो लगाया, तो वो तो अब सीरियस हो गए हैं। मध्य प्रदेश चुनाव के लिए बिहार के समय से तैयारी कर रहे थे, तो राहुल जी तो अब इसका मतलब सीरियस हो गए हैं ना, सबका क्रिटिसिज्म उन्होंने समझ लिया है। देखिए सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि वोट चोरी का आरोप लगाते हुए आज की तारीख तक राहुल गांधी एक भी एविडेंस, एक भी फैक्ट नहीं दे पाए हैं, एक भी नहीं दे पाए हैं। जो उन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में या पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन में बताया, वो सब एक कुछ अलग तरीके की गड़बड़ी, जो एनोमलीज कहते हैं, उस तरह की चीजें निकल कर आई। और चुनाव में ऐसी गड़बड़ियां होती हैं, उसको दुरुस्त करना चुनाव आयोग का काम है। चुनाव आयोग नहीं कर पा रहा है तो उस पर पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को प्रेशर बनाना चाहिए। लेकिन कमाल की बात यह कि जो लोग 30,000 रुपए देंगे ऐसा प्रॉमिस करते हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि 10,000 की रिश्वत दे दी गई। जो लोग 5 गारंटीज और हम तो पैसा देकर 72,000 रुपए न्याय योजना, वो आज कह रहे हैं कि चुनावी रिश्वत दे दी गई। जरा सोचिए पद्मजा, मतलब 72,000 हम देंगे, प्रति माह 6,000 रुपया देंगे। ये राहुल गांधी का ड्रीम था। एक तरह से उन्होंने ड्रीम बजट जैसा पेश कर दिया था चुनावी वादे के तौर पर। नहीं मानी ना पब्लिक। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब यह हुआ कि पब्लिक डोंट ट्रस्ट यू। आपके वादे पर वो बिलीव नहीं करते। क्यों नहीं करते हैं? क्योंकि चुनाव के समय, चुनाव के पहले और चुनाव के बाद राहुल गांधी की विदेश यात्रा ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। क्योंकि विदेश से लौटने के बाद राहुल गांधी को चंडीगढ़ में एक आईपीएस ऑफिसर के सुसाइड पर जाना है और एक फतेहपुर जाना है जो मानसिक तौर पर अस्थिर व्यक्ति था, जिसके लोगों ने जान ले ली। क्यों? क्योंकि वहां दलित जाति घृणा फैलाने को मिलेगा। राहुल गांधी को लगता है कि ये जो शॉर्टकट्स हैं पॉलिटिक्स के, जो पहले चलते थे, कांग्रेस खूब अच्छे से कर लेती थी, कास्ट को लड़ाना, रीजन को लड़ाना, उसमें कांग्रेस सोचती थी कर लेंगे। और देश इतना बड़ा है, अब जिनको नहीं ध्यान में उनको मैं याद दिलाता हूं 1984 का इलेक्शन। 541 लोकसभा सीट थी और कांग्रेस 414 जीत गई थी। मुझे लगता है कुछ 74%, 70 के तो ऊपर ही हो गया। ऑल इंडिया, क्या सबको कहना चाहिए था कि ये वोट चोरी हो गई? मतलब किस तरफ डिबेट जा रही? मैं फिर कह रहा हूं, कोई गड़बड़ी हो सकती है, थोड़ी बहुत गड़बड़ी हो सकती है।
The visit of Prime Minister to Bhutan when there was a bomb blast, a terrorist attack in the capital of India. Please explain how do you?
We can restrict ourselves to one debate at a time.
How do you explain
if we are discussing why the election in Bihar was lost by you? Then we can discuss that.
No, why is he? No, you have to ask. No, you have to ask her. Ask him, Padmaja. Why is he talking about Rahul Gandhi जी कहाँ चले गए? अरे प्रधानमंत्री से पूछो ना पहले कि देश की राजधानी में बम धमाका हो जाता है और प्रधानमंत्री चले जाते हैं भूटान की सैर।
ओके, 30 सेकंड इसका जवाब दीजिए।
गांधी पे सवाल उठाओगे तो मैं देश के प्रधान।
पर इसका इलेक्शन से क्या लेना देना था? भाई आप इलेक्शन लड़ रहे हैं एंड इन द मिडल ऑफ इलेक्शंस इफ यू गो ऑफ to Colombia, then you go off to Panchmari, even as you know the results are being collated, that impacts the election results. You don't think that has got any bearing on the outcome of the results, Nigat Abbas?
I am so surprised. I am so surprised by Padmaja, you right now, that you are more concerned about the elections of Bihar and not the people of India dying in a bomb blast, which lately the number has, it
just
goes
give
to
me
about
20 seconds.
15 people who have died in the bomb blast.
Let me answer.
I am equally concerned about both because the question is asked of Harshvardhan Tripathi.
हर्षवर्धन जी मुझे 10 सेकंड दे दो, 10 सेकंड।
बिहार में चुनाव की रैली में जाते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री से पूछो ना दिल्ली में बम धमाका होता है और वो भूटान की हवा खाने जाते हैं। That is why important elections are not important.
Okay, 10 seconds, Shehzad Poonawala, then Harshvardhan Tripathi, because the question and the allegation is directed at him.
बताओ भूटान में क्या कर रहे थे देश के प्रधानमंत्री?
अरे वो आप छोड़ दीजिए, आप केवल जो है आप केवल ब्राजील की यात्रा कीजिए. Now let me answer because she's asked something about the bomb blast. Do you know this is the party whose leader has said that the blast was done because we wanted to divert attention from the pollution issue? Anuma Acharya tweeted this. They are saying they are concerned about blast. Just to show their hypocrisy,
Okay,
they gave clean sheet to all the persons who are involved in the blast. So after that, they should not be talking. Chidambaram ka article pad lo.
Okay, we are digressing. I want to bring this back on track. Harshvardhan Tripathi, why are you holding up Rahul Gandhi as an example? Why are you blaming Rahul Gandhi? इसका कोई इलेक्शन के आउटकम से लेना देना नहीं है कि कौन कहां जा रहा है.
पद्मजा जी, अगर सचमुच इसका इलेक्शन से लेना देना नहीं है, तब तो राहुल जी फिर इटली रहें, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, यहाँ इलेक्शंस होते रहेंगे. सीरियस नोट पे कह रहा हूँ, फिर तो राहुल जी को इटली रहना चाहिए, यहाँ हो जाएगा, वो प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन जाएंगे.
पहलगाम होता रहेगा, देश के प्रधानमंत्री बिहार की चुनावी रैली करें, पहलगाम होता रहेगा, लोग मरते रहेंगे, क्या फर्क पड़ता है आप लोगों को?
निगहत, बीच में बोलने की बड़ी गंदी आदत है, मैं चुप हो जाता हूँ, आप ही बोल लीजिए.
No, it is very easy to do this whataboutery. I want to repeat for you what leaders of your party have said. Tariq Anwar, we just played out. He said there were shortcomings in the party structure. There was no organizational presence on the ground. The election campaign started late. Friendly fights caused losses. There was a lack of communication. We wake up late to elections. We need to work 365 days a year. Akhilesh Prasad Singh, who's a member of parliament, he said everyone was busy distributing tickets. This created difficulties. The Bihar Congress president was himself contesting elections. CLP was also contesting. Nobody was overseeing our election campaign. Your MPs from Bihar, your former state president from Bihar, ma'am, is saying that nobody was overseeing your election. But somebody who is the leader of opposition could have sat there and overseen your election. This is not me saying it. This is your party leaders saying it. Are you still refusing to see the writing on the wall?
No, I am not at all, Padmaja. I said that it is the time to introspect and it is high time that we need to bring changes, and which is why we have started programs like Sangathan Srijan at the national level in different states. At the Zilla level, at the booth level, we are bringing the change, and that is something we really need to look forward to, because otherwise we will keep performing very bad, and we've done that before. But right now it is not only how we are performing, it is about how the election commission has...
What introspection are you doing when you're literally putting the blame on somebody else's doorstep? When you did brainstorming, not one person came out and said, Nighat Abbas, not one person came out and said that, the problem is that we were seen to be missing. The problem is that we distributed tickets late. Every single person who came out of that meeting on Saturday said, दाल में कुछ काला है, ये तो election commission ने रिग कर दिया. और अभी आप ही की ट्यून, the RJD is singing the same tune.
पता है ना Padmaja ji, we know that.
तो आपने क्या इंट्रोस्पेक्ट किया? आप क्या ही चेंजेस करेंगे when you are not acknowledging that you made a mistake? How will you fix a mistake if you are not acknowledging it?
The mistake is done by the Election Commission of India, and it's not only a mistake, it's a sin, which what they're doing.
तो आप मंथन क्या करेंगे जब इलेक्शन कमीशन गलती कर रहा है? तो फिर तो इलेक्शन कमीशन को मंथन करना चाहिए. Why are you doing these various scams, whatever that you're talking about?
कोई बात नहीं, आज नहीं तो कल इलेक्शन कमीशन will have to answer. कभी आता है पहाड़ के नीचे, आज नहीं तो कल the things will change. This is the same Congress party who ruled our country for 50 years and given us a developing nation.
Okay. Respond Shehzad Poonawala, then I'll bring in Rashid Kidwai.
Rashid ji and Harshvardhan ji have seen so many elections. I don't know how introspection and delusion can combine together. Means on the one hand you are saying हम आत्मचिंतन करेंगे, पर मैं थोड़ी आ रहा हूँ. अब सोते हुए को तो जगा सकते, जो सोने की एक्टिंग करे उसको कौन जगाए? मतलब कि अब बोल रहे हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन जिम्मेदार है, तो ये कैसा इंट्रोस्पेक्शन? पॉइंट 1. पॉइंट 2, आयरनी आपको बताता हूं. इन दिस इलेक्शन द पर्सन हु वन जुबली हिल्स इज अ गाय कॉल्ड नवीन यादव हु वाज अक्यूज्ड ऑफ तेलंगाना पुलिस ऑफ डूइंग वोट चोरी, and their other person MLA in the Karnataka Nanjay Gowda has got convicted for vote chori, and G Parmeshwar has said EVM आने से पहले ठका-ठक बूथ चोरी करते थे, और उनके कीर्ति आजाद से लेकर संदीप दीक्षित का ऑन रिकॉर्ड बयान है बूथ चोरी होती थी. But let me tell you one thing, and which Harshvardhan ji has said in previous debates. In 1985 Bihar election, 63 deaths took place. 1990, 87 deaths. 1995, TN session postponed the Bihar election 4 times. 2005, repolling was done in 660 booths. And Harshvardhan ji has said this time there was zero repolling and zero violence. And still they are saying that this election was pura chori ho gaya. And they are saying that hum logo to se to koi galti nahi hui. To TMC ko samjha do. TMC has said Rahul is incompetent. Jay Mazumdar has said this. वो हम BJP तो नहीं है ना. ना जनमत है, ना संगत है, केवल जनपद है, और यहां पर आकर ड्रामा करना है. मैं सिर्फ निगत जी से एक ही चीज पूछना चाहता हूं, आलंद में दे मेड एलिगेशन ऑफ आलंद, सुबह 11 बजे मैं हर्षवर्धन जी के साथ डिबेट में बैठा, राहुल जी आए बोले 12 बजे कि 6000 वोट डिलीट हो गया, शाम आते आते दूसरी डिबेट में आया 6 बजे की डिबेट में, डिलीट नहीं हुआ है, अटेम्प्ट टू डिलीट था। ऐसे तो इनके एलिगेशंस है। आलंद में वोट डिलीट हुआ था नहीं हुआ था, यह बता दो निगत जी। इन आलंद 6000 वोट्स गॉट डिलीटेड, यस और नो? यू वांट फोन अ फ्रेंड, यू वांट 50-50 लाइफलाइन?
7.45 कैसे हो गया? फॉर्म 6 की एप्लीकेशन 10-12 दिन में वेरीफाई हो सकती है। ये इलेक्शन कमीशन की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आप ले रहे हो शहजाद पूनावाला।
आप एक काम करो, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अभिषेक सिंघवी और कपिल सिब्बल को खड़ा करो ना, टेररिस्ट के केस लड़ते हैं, ये केस भी लड़ लेंगे फ्री प्रो बोनो।
You've been dealing with. अभी तक आपके पास सवालों के जवाब नहीं है कि एसआईआर में एक घर पे 1500 लोग कैसे रजिस्टर्ड है। यू स्टिल डू नॉट हैव एन आंसर।
एसआईआर से दिक्कत है आपको? महाराष्ट्र में एसआईआर सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं।
हाउ द सिस्टम इज वर्किंग टुडे?
डू यू नो यू आर सपोर्टिंग एसआईआर इन महाराष्ट्र? डू यू नो यू आर सपोर्टिंग महाराष्ट्र में एसआईआर? डू यू नो दैट in Maharashtra the party supporting SIR? Before 2014 they did 10 SIRs and now they are saying we are against SIR. Nigat ji, are you supporting SIR in Maharashtra, yes or no?
Rashid Kidwai, when you see this entire raft of allegations, do you have any hope whatsoever of any course correction? I have to say honestly, I'm gobsmacked. In the same breath, how can somebody say we are introspecting, we are looking for solutions, and then you come back with an entire raft of allegations against everyone except yourself? Zero self-reflection.
Yes, I think, Padmaja, you have raised a valid point. The Congress line of defense seems to be a little erratic and flawed. The fact of the matter was it was a Tejaswi's election. The Congress since 1989 has not been a major player. It's a third, fourth, fifth political party there. Therefore, to put the entire focus or attention on the Congress performance, you see, it is little, I think, stretched. If the RJD had done well, then of course the Congress would have been a beneficiary, not the other way around. The issue about election commission is about the functioning. Padmaja, I always ask people, you see, why do we have 3 different voter lists in municipal elections, in assembly elections, and in Lok Sabha election? In Lok Sabha elections, certain number of people in Bihar voted. And then we say in 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line, we say, no, so many people were invalid, they were not there. So there are a lot of things that election commission needs to answer. But to put it on the outcome that Bihar election has voted in a certain way, this is not a reflection. These are two different debates are there.
Absolutely.
The Congress has not introspected the defeat of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh assembly elections, Haryana elections, Maharashtra elections. All the pro panels are there, but they have not been discussed even once. So I don't expect them to make any headway, and that is the tragedy of the
And you're absolutely correct that the focus has to be on the RJD as well. और हम कौन होते हैं फोकस करने वाले? डॉक्टर जयंत जिज्ञासु, like I've been saying since the beginning, आपके खुद के पार्टी के लोग, the other argument that you're making today, 10,000 में इलेक्शन बिक गया। आपको पता है कि in Jharkhand, this is a headline from before the Jharkhand assembly elections. In August, you had the election happening in October. August, the scheme was rolled out by Hemant Soren, and bang on the eve of polling in Jharkhand, the second installment was put in women's accounts. Now, whether such schemes should happen at all is a different argument. I personally think that these schemes are very bad for our country, very bad for our economy. But your party, and by the way, you were in alliance with them in Jharkhand, they did it. Hemant Soren did it. तब वो वोट चोरी नहीं थी। तब तो आपने नहीं कहा कि चुनाव बिक गया वहां पे। जब हेमंत सोरेन मैया सम्मान योजना के पैसे महिलाओं के खाते में डाल रहे थे, तब क्या वो वोट बिक नहीं रहा था? जयंत जिज्ञासु।
No. Jivika Didis were not employed there to manipulate the women voters, and they were not at the polling station. Please remember the election of 1987 in Haryana. Tau Devi Lalji won 85 seats out of 90. But nobody expressed any kind of doubt over the mandate.
Exactly. Why?
It was not managed or manipulated.
How do you know?
Congress was in the center. But here the problem is a government which is not of the people or by the people cannot be for the people. And we are here to ensure that the very integrity of the election commission.
How are you assuming कि ताऊ देवीलाल का election rigged नहीं था? And now just because the BJP is in power, all these elections are rigged. How do you know that?
Now, Padmaja, are you aware of the fact? What kind of coincidence is this that Samrat Chaudhary got 1,22,000 votes? Vijay Kumar Sinha got 1,22,000 votes. Neeraj Kumar Singh got 1,22,000 votes. And Krishna Kumar Sahi got 1,22,000 votes. So people have serious doubt the way election commission has functioned in the
Okay, so now this is accusation number 3. There is a coincidence. All your candidates are winning by 1,25,000 votes or thereabouts. अब इसका भी बताइए शहजाद पूना.
हिस्ट्री ऑफ 1987 मुझे भी 5 सेकंड दीजिए हिस्ट्री में जाने के लिए, पर मैं प्रमाण के साथ जाऊंगा. भाई आप अपने समय पर भी बोलते हो, दूसरों के समय पर भी बोलते हो. अब सुन लीजिए, चप्पल वप्पल मत दिखाना. सी बिकॉज
हमारी आदत नहीं है.
प्लीज चप्पल मत दिखाना.
बातें मत करो आप.
नहीं चप्पल मत दिखाना.
आपको पद्मजा जी ने
मत दिखाना. रोहिणी जी को दिखा दिया रमीज ने, आप मुझे मत दिखाना. मैं अपनी बात कर.
अरे नाटक मत करो बदतमीज आदमी. We never discuss the family affairs of Narendra Modi. We never discuss the family affairs of
आप करिए ना डिस्कस. आपका काम ही वो बच्चा है, यही डिस्कस करना बच्चा. पर अपने घर की
and the world knows what happened in all this.
अरे आप इतना भड़क क्यों? रमीज के लिए इतना मत भड़को. रोहिणी के लिए भड़को. रोहिणी के लिए आप बात करो. आप रमीज के लिए इतना भड़क गए. रमीज का नाम लिया आप भड़क गए. क्या प्यार है रमीज से?
Where to speak, what not to speak.
ना मैं पद्मजा जी मैं अपनी बात.
बदतमीज आदमी हो, उज्जट आदमी हो.
ठीक है, रमीज ही अच्छा संस्कारी है. रमीज और संजय संस्कारी है, मैं बदतमीज. आप रमीज को संस्कारी बोलो, मैं बदतमीज हूं, कोई समस्या नहीं. अब मैं अपनी बात.
बदतमीज आदमी हो.
हाँ बिल्कुल, रमीज संस्कारी है. रोहिणी को चप्पल दिखाने वाला रमीज संस्कारी है. ठीक है, अब मैं
बदतमीज हो.
चलिए मैं आगे जाता हूं. इन्होंने क्योंकि 1987 का जिक्र किया, एक वीडियो मेरे हाथ लगा.
के साथ साथ पे खड़ा किया. यह भी खाटी कांग्रेस परिवार के सदस्य बूथ लूटा करते थे नागेंद्र बाबा के लिए और डॉक्टर साहब के लिए. उस समय तो लूटा जाता था. आज बाद में
ये है श्री श्री कीर्ति आजाद जी. श्री श्री कीर्ति आजाद जी पहले कांग्रेस में थे, उनके पूरा परिवार, फिर वो गए हैं अब टीएमसी में. श्री श्री कीर्ति आजाद जी बता रहे हैं कि आपके क्या कर्मकांड हुआ करते थे और कांग्रेस कैसे बूथ लूटा करती थी. वो सब छोड़ो. खुद टीएन सेशन ने ऑन रिकॉर्ड बोला है कि राजीव गांधी यूज्ड टू कॉल मी एंड से
जोड़ दीजिए. मोदी और अमित शाह के चेले
कमिश्नर के ऊपर एक ही बार शिकायत किसी ने किया. मैंने
विश्व हिंदू परिषद के लोग, राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के लोग,
there has been only one instance, Padmaja. There has been only one instance, Padmaja, complete. There has been only one sitting incidence of where a chief election commissioner has said a notice and a letter against his own election commissioner, that is Mr. Gopalaswamy against Naveen Chawla, कि bathroom break लेते लेते कांग्रेस को जाकर information pass on करते हैं. Anyway, I don't want to get into this. Now when it is coming to the 1,22,000 whatever votes etc issue, let me come specifically on that. Padmaja, how many debates you, me, Rashid ji and Harshvardhan ji have done? महाराष्ट्र में वोट बढ़ गया 70 lakhs, कभी 39 lakhs, कभी 1 crore, निकला कुछ नहीं. आनंद में सुबह वोट गायब, शाम को वोट वापस आ गए. महादेवपुरा के allegation, that everything was proven to be fake. Now one lady has said that a foreigner was registered as a voter. Look at the common sense, that she does not have common sense that a foreigner cannot be registered as a voter. She has said that 22 times a foreigner who has registered as a voter has voted, which is not a fact. She is saying this, and we are listening to this because this is the 9th failed party. People have rejected them, but yet they want to divert from. अच्छा महिला कार्ड प्ले कर रही है जेंडर जस्टिस का. रोहिणी जी पर एक शब्द तो बोलो ना निगत जी. What do you think about Rohini's allegations, or you want proof for that?
ने प्रमोद महाजन जी की हत्या कर दी. वो एक त्रासद घटना है.
Okay, just a second. Can I please give the final 30 seconds to Nigat Abbas?
On Rohini ji.
कुमार जी के परिवार में क्या होता?
Thank you, Padmaja ji. Shehzad Poonawalla has been constantly coming and questioning me. I have been asking similar questions every time he comes and goes below the belt to me. That please explain as to how will you explain Narendra Modi ji's statement of Bihar's DNA, वो नीतीश बाबू का तो DNA खराब है. आप कैसे explain करोगे अजीत पवार?
You know Lalu ji's daughter's name? It's Misa. You know why it was Misa?
ने बोला कि घोटाला करा. How do you explain that the female wrestlers were beaten up by Delhi police, that is under control of the Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji? How do you explain the rape of the girls and the killing of the families by Sengar family. Do you want to speak about it? So why don't you speak? Why are you
Sengar is
so selective
convicted.
when you
That's
speak
exactly
about
my
it?
point.
Okay.
He was our MLA.
Why is that your party and you
yourself
yourself are not introspecting as to how you
Okay, you know, introspection is the only way anyone is going to find any kind of a solution. My limited point is you have a number of allegations now. You have a number of reasons that you are putting forward for why you lost the elections in Bihar. With all of that evidence, you immediately must either approach the court or the election commission, because sitting here and making those allegations on TV debates is really going to get you nowhere. It is not going to change the mandate. As far as the real performance of your respective parties is concerned, there are insiders who are now raising a red flag. You either listen to them and benefit, or we can continue having this debate election after election after election. Thanks very much, all gentlemen and Nigat Abbas, for having joined me. Time for a quick break.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app, and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. And Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
क्या हाल बा? क्या है?
The International Crimes Tribunal in Bangladesh has convicted former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and sentenced her to death on charges of crimes against humanity. In a statement, Hasina claimed that the ruling linked to the student-led protests of August 2024 was biased and politically motivated. At least 45 people are feared to have died after a bus carrying Umrah pilgrims collided with a diesel tanker near Medina. Around 42 of those who died were Indian nationals. The bus was reportedly on its way from Mecca to Medina when the crash took place around 1:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Air India has announced that the resumption of non-stop flights between Delhi and China's Shanghai will start from the 1st of February next year. This marks Air India's return to mainland China after nearly 6 years. The airline said that subject to requisite regulatory approvals, it also intends to introduce non-stop flights between Mumbai and Shanghai in 2026.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को 3 गुना करना है। गाजी, रोहन, दोबारा से।
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं। उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and
Good evening, you're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom. In a stunning verdict that sent shockwaves around South Asia, Bangladesh's International Crimes Tribunal has sentenced the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to death in absentia for crimes against humanity over last year's brutal crackdown on student protests which claimed hundreds of lives. The 78-year-old, exiled in India since a dramatic ouster in August last year, now faces immediate extradition demands from Dhaka's interim government under Muhammad Yunus, who insists that India honour a bilateral treaty labelling Hasina a fugitive convict. Hasina's son, Sajib Wazid Joy, who I spoke to, and you'll see that interview in the next 1 minute or so, fired back from the US, branding the trial a complete mockery of justice and a sham. Rushed in just 140 days, he says, without proper defense, predetermined by an unconstitutional, unelected regime backed by Islamists. He vows that the verdict will be thrown out when rule of law returns and dismisses extradition pleas as being illegal. Now, New Delhi, treading a diplomatic tightrope, has noted the ruling but reaffirmed commitment to Bangladesh's peace and stability, offering no assurances per se on Hasina's protection or compliance, balancing old alliances with the new leadership amidst fears of regional unrest. As tensions simmer, will India yield? We're going to be looking very closely at that on our program. But a little while earlier, I did speak to Sheikh Hasina's son, Sajid Wazid. Listen in. Mr. Wazid, thank you very much for speaking to us. My first question to you is, your mother has been handed the death sentence in Bangladesh. Why do you believe that this is fundamental injustice towards her?
For so many reasons. You have such an important trial that was conducted, that was finished within something like 140 days from start to finish, which that's almost impossible. They had to amend the laws to enable these trials to be fast-tracked, which only Parliament can do, and right now there is no Parliament. This is an unelected regime. The government itself is completely unconstitutional, unelected and illegal, and the verdict was predetermined. We all knew. I even said this in interviews yesterday and before this. Everybody knew, all journalists as well asking. I asked the journalists, what do you think the verdict's going to be? Everyone knows this was going to be the verdict. It was a sham.
How is your mother coping with the death sentence verdict? You know, you've spoken to her, obviously. And what's her message for her supporters in Bangladesh?
Our message is that this verdict does not matter. This is completely illegal. When rule of law returns to Bangladesh, this will not be sustainable. It will all get thrown out. And we are going to fight for the time being. We are the oldest and largest political party in Bangladesh, and we are going to fight for our rights and for democracy.
With Dhaka renewing its extradition request, India does have a 2013 treaty with Bangladesh. Do you believe that her safety, her physical safety, could potentially be at risk?
Not at all, because again, the request comes from an illegal, unelected, undemocratic government. And the trials themselves were highly illegal. So why would New Delhi comply with such an illegal request? That will never happen.
And you've been given an assurance that New Delhi will continue to defend and protect your mother?
No, I don't have any such assurances, but I just know that everything that has happened in Bangladesh for the last year and a half, and especially with these trials, has been completely illegal and unconstitutional. So it would actually be illegal of India to comply with such an illegal request.
One of the key concerns we've seen in Bangladesh are attacks on minorities, whether it's churches which have been attacked or Hindus. Is the Yunus regime failing to protect your country's secular fabric, something that your family championed?
Not only are they failing, they are actually participating in it. The Yunus regime is backed by Jamaat-e-Islam and other Islamists. And that is why in these upcoming elections, they have banned not just the Awami League, but de facto they have banned all secular and progressive parties. That is why they're doing this, in order to establish an Islamic state in Bangladesh.
You've highlighted the ISI and China's growing influence in your country. Will today's verdict, in a sense, embolden these forces? And how can the Awami League counter them from exile?
The Awami League is not in exile. The Awami League still has millions, tens of millions of supporters in Bangladesh. We've called for lockdowns over the last few days, and people have responded. The lockdowns have been very successful, and yes, we are going to fight. Our people are in Bangladesh. We're still going to fight, and unfortunately, whether anyone helps or not, we will fight.
Mr. Wazir, thank you very much for speaking to us. My first question to you is... All right, so the son of Sheikh Hasina over there, who's been sentenced to death in Bangladesh today, joining us to discuss this and the implications to India as well, Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Sultan Mohammad Zakaria, Pushpita Gupta, and Shafqat Rabi. Thank you all very much for being with us. Pushpita Gupta, let me ask you this. Does today's verdict against Sheikh Hasina strengthen the interim government's legitimacy, or does it risk deepening divisions in a country which has already been fractured by last year's unrest? Pushpita, could you hear me? All right, we couldn't get that question. Let me take that across to Sultan Mohammad Zakaria. Mr. Zakaria, can you hear me?
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Does today's verdict against Sheikh Hasina strengthen the interim government's legitimacy, or does it risk deepening divisions in a country that's, seen so much unrest?
Well, I wouldn't say that it deepens the crisis. I think this is a question of justice that hundreds of people, I would say, that have been asking for since she fled to India. So I think that this is a matter of justice for the people who have been the victim of a brutal repression of the July uprising that killed.
Go across to High Commissioner Sikri, Ambassador Sikri at this stage, as we get those audio issues sorted out. I was a bit surprised, ma'am, by New Delhi's statement. It was non-committal in a sense. Given how strongly India has backed Sheikh Hasina, she's been allowed to stay on in our country, did you expect to see a stronger statement objecting to what's happened in Bangladesh?
No, let me tell you that I think our statement was perfectly in the correct spirit. Now, this statement was made in response to the request from Bangladesh for the extradition of Sheikh Hasina, and it was made in response to a statement also made by Asif Nazrul, who's one of the advisors in the Yunus regime, saying that if you don't extradite Sheikh Hasina, the enmity between India and Bangladesh will grow. I must say, first of all, coming to this question of extradition, that a one-line request from the Bangladesh government is not an extradition request. In keeping with the extradition treaty that we have with Bangladesh, a request for extradition has to be accompanied by the full legal papers, the entire court verdict, the hearings, the evidence, how the evidence was proved, everything had to come. And the government of India, or any other government for that matter, cannot even start to comment on the question of extradition unless you receive all the legal papers. And when you receive all the legal papers, you have to examine them in India. There will probably be a court case in India where, of course, even Bangladesh lawyers can come, Sheikh Hasina's lawyers can come, Government of India lawyers will be there. And that is how we know, we've seen ourselves how with the UK, it's taken years to have hearings completed there and questions being asked, and only then, even then, the decision on extradition is not taken. So the government has just said, our government has just said that we are going to talk to all the stakeholders. So, of course, they will talk to all the stakeholders. This includes Sheikh Hasina herself, which includes the request which has come from the interim regime of Bangladesh. And certainly, Indian government will take on board the fact that the ICT is not authorized.
So, ma'am, spoken like a true diplomat. Why should New Delhi not say there is no question of India handing over Sheikh Hasina?
No, because even the response from the government of India has to be vouched in the same terms of the request for extradition that has come from there.
Okay.
So we are talking about the request for extradition.
Okay, all right, got it. I understand. Shafqat Rabi, let me come to you next. Mr. Rabi, you heard possibly Sheikh Hasina's son speak to me a few minutes back where he says that where is the legitimacy of the Muhammad Yunus government? And therefore, on what basis can India respond to an extradition request when the government itself is unconstitutional and illegitimate? Now, that's his interpretation, but in a legal case, how could you fault him?
So, thanks for having me. The government has been in power for quite some time now, almost 15 months. Indian Prime Minister has met Muhammad Yunus in various occasions internationally. India has never made any issues about the government being illegal or anything, and the international community has engaged the Yunus administration in multifaceted ways. So I do not know where he's finding this whole assertion that this is an illegal or illegitimate government. So that assertion is obviously not true. And then ICT, it was created by Sheikh Hasina herself in the past to prosecute her political opponents in the past, and she successfully executed multiple people through this same ICT. And going back to Veena Sikri's question, during Hasina's time, ICT has gone to Canada and Australia asking for extradition of people that the Hasina government deemed fugitives at that point. There were no like a legal case in Canada or Australia against those people. Bangladesh used to ask for extradition. So we have precedents here for asking for Sheikh Hasina's extradition back to Bangladesh.
Mr. Rabi, what happens if India doesn't comply with that request?
Well, the chance of India complying is almost dim. It's non-existent.
Yeah.
We know that. India has decided to take side of a person over a country or the people. So that's India's political prerogative. I don't have any comment about it. The chance of Hasina returning to Bangladesh is very dim.
Pushpita Gupta, what if she is not extradited? What would the implications be? For all the reasons that Ambassador Sikri has said, it's not going to be an open and shut case. There's obviously a process. But what if New Delhi were to eventually decide that no, she will not be returned, and that the process of justice in Bangladesh is very, very fast. It's just taken 140 days. She's not really been represented in the way that she wants to, and therefore she can't be set back. If that is an argument that's made, what are the implications?
It is actually, the previous gentleman said, India has taken side, Sheikh Hasina over the country, and it is, I don't think it is true. I recently visited India as well, and I have spoken to many government officials about what is happening in Bangladesh since Sheikh Hasina government fell or Sheikh Hasina freed the country. And if you just a little bit go like 1 year, not even 15 months, if I go back like 1 year, what is happening in Bangladesh? India is very concerned about Bangladesh. It's not about Sheikh Hasina, it's about the country itself, because this country is going backwards like 100 years. If you even Sheikh Hasina left on 5th of August, how many people died since 2024, 5th of August? This is my question. So why Dr. Yunus came to power, even if he was not legal or if he was legal, how did he give this amendment or those killers, the people who he has been killing since 5th of August, and they have no justice for those people. Hindus are getting killed every single day. How many activists being killed every day? You have noticed that people are being even saying those words, Joy Bangla. Joy Bangla means, Joy Bangla is the slogan of Bangladesh. It's nothing to do with Awami League. Even people saying Joy Bangla, they're being arrested, they're being killed. Even minors, children, Children are being put in
Okay,
jail.
let me get a response. Shafqat Ravi, would you like to respond to
just
that?
1 hour.
That she's been accused, Sheikh Hasina has been accused of violence, which has resulted in the death of a lot of people. There have been so many questions on her regime and whether it was fair or not. But after she came to India, has there necessarily been, a peace in Bangladesh? It appears from so many accounts that that's not been the case.
Well, the proportionality is obviously not in favor of Hasina. The number of people got killed during July, August, as reported by the United Nations, 1,400 people. I do not think that many people died after she left. And going back to the Indian situation, it's not just Hasina. Her entire political hierarchy is residing in India right now. As I said, there are 1,400 people who are killed during July, August. There are many of those killers right now in India. India is not returning a single one of them. It's not just Hasina. India has decided to take side with just not one person, but the whole apparatus that fled a country to the neighboring country. So it's a political grandstanding, political grand decision that India has taken. So we cannot just isolate Hasina here. It's a grand narrative that needs to be discussed, and the Indians have to figure it out. Because is it a popular argument for India to do this? Maybe it is, but from a Bangladeshi standpoint, this is not. Okay. Think about this way. If Paresh Borua or like a Ulfa leader was in Bangladesh and directing attacks in India, what would you do? Would you just request and then just let Bangladesh just have that person?
Okay, Sultan Mohammad Zakaria, right? Respond to that. I think that's a fair way of looking at it. If there was a criminal from India in Bangladesh and allowed to reside in Bangladesh, India would certainly have problems with that. Mr. Shafqat Rabi says that, take that as an example and look at Sheikh Hasina in India. Why won't Bangladesh, or at least the people in government in Bangladesh, have similar problems? How would you respond?
Just let me give you one example. What I say is usually that in the recorded history of this land, Bengal, there is no government, no regime, except the wartime. In the peacetime, no government has killed as many people as Sheikh Hasina did in July and August, just in this span of 3 weeks. And everything happened on live. I don't know what this lady is, where did she live, but it's hundreds of thousands of videos that police shot at protesters, killed at point blank range, and there are dozens of audio tape leaked with forensic analysis and etc. that Sheikh Hasina clearly ordered use of lethal weapons. How do you square with that? I think the question for us as a Bangladeshi is to hold the perpetrators to account, be it a general, be it a former prime minister, whoever. Now, whether India will take the extradition treaty seriously and extradite her, it's an Indian question. They have to solve it. What kind of relationship they want with the Bangladeshi governments, subsequent governments.
Ambassador Sikri, you wanted to come in, go ahead.
Well, I want to say very clearly that my previous panelists have just said that, the UN has given this report and this is all on TV. What about all the other people, the policemen, the attacks on the police stations, the 400 police stations destroyed, thousands of policemen killed, the police force is still not back in full force, and there is no accountability for that. In fact, all the people of the NCP and others have got indemnity for themselves, saying that we will never be charged for
indemnity. That's it.
So, if they're so righteous about it, why aren't they themselves subjecting themselves to this kind of scrutiny and trial? Why have they taken indemnity for themselves? I can tell you that the number of 1,400, even Volker Turk in his report said, there is no way you can come to a number. Many of these 1,400 were killed after the 5th of August. And I have seen even the Bangladesh media reports where people have said, Pratham and others said, we went door to door to door, and they have given a number of some 300 or 350 people. And they said they went to all the hospitals, they went to the homes. This is what the reporting in the Bangladesh media was. The most respected Bangladesh newspaper, Pratham Alo, reported this. And now suddenly it's been inflated and you're talking about the biggest mass murder, and as if they do not know what happened in the Liberation War in 1971, the lakhs and millions of people who were raped and lynched. And what about the number of the Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, the minorities, the Sufis, the Ahmadiyas, who have been even today being raped, lynched, killed, their lands taken away, their businesses destroyed. There is no accountability. And the BNP, who is, some part of the BNP is in cahoots with the Jamaat-e-Islami, they are doing extortion. And that is why the people of Bangladesh don't want that regime anymore. The Jamaat-e-Islami is trying to get the maximum votes for themselves by banning the activities of the Awami League, banning the activities of Jatiya Party, not letting them join the elections, and making sure that their regime is as unrepresentative as possible.
All right, okay, hang on. I've got just about a minute left.
Can I just add into that?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead, briefly.
Can I just add one thing? So if you have a fair, if you want a fair justice, or if you want something, a fair verdict in the court, then why do you have a chief justice to prosecutor to a lawyer? Everybody's from Jamaat-e-Islami. Why don't you have a fair and then an independent lawyer or prosecutor or a chief justice? So it's just all just pre-planned and all just from the one group of the people. And then also Dr. Yunus came to power and he released all these extremists from the jail who are well-known killers, who are well-known rapists, and they all are freed from their jail. So they are all open and walking on the street.
All right, okay. Let's hold on. You made your point. I've got 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Shafqat Rabi, finish this up. You've got exactly 30 seconds. 40 seconds.
Yeah, so I mean, these are very repetitive accusations that Veena Sikri and others make in every news show they go to, these Jamaat-e-Islami and everything. The key issue here is this. Hasina's own police chief has become a state witness and he has turned against her own police chief. And her own intelligence agencies recorded her telephone conversations, and in those conversations, BBC World Service verified that she was directing killing students through helicopters. That's the fact.
All right, look, we'll keep tracking this. I'm afraid we're completely out of time. But it's a difficult situation here in New Delhi. What does Delhi do? We want to develop relations with Bangladesh, but certainly not, a government in Bangladesh which has a sense of animosity towards New Delhi. This is a difficult situation for all Sheikh Hasina, her family rejecting the death sentence that has been handed out to her. We leave it there. Thanks very much for being with us.
Pulling us
other opposition parties. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
We unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer, and also a top Indian pro at the moment. One administrator who's doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much. You're starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
क्या हाल बा? क्या है ब्रेकफास्ट का इंतजाम आज सुबह? You're watching NDTV coverage of the Bihar elections. Cricket style RoboCam walking around. This is a wave of a car ला रहे हैं. Owaisi and the BJP right next to each other. क्या हो रहा है ये? आपने तो बिहार के चुनावी मैदान पे एक के बाद एक छक्के मारे आज. Prashant Kishore in his debut election in Bihar is not headed for the ceiling.
Results on NDTV is the top trend right now. Oh wow.
जो मखाना बनाते हैं वहाँ पे मैं आपको तालाब में देखा था.
Digital live viewership, NDTV is right on top.
NDTV has been the OG of election coverage. Everyone who's watching, thank you for your trust, thank you for your time.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
मजे को दुगुना करना है, मजे को 3 गुना करना है. गाजी, रोहन, come on side.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है.
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं. उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
Other opposition parties. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Newsnight with me, Raisha Saigal. On the show today, we will tell you all about Lalu Prasad Yadav's family dispute, which has now exploded after the second eldest daughter of Lalu Prasad Yadav, Rohini Acharya, alleged that she was expelled from her family. All that and lots more lined up on the show tonight. But first, the headlines on Newsnight. 42 Indian pilgrims killed in bus tragedy in Medina today. Perfect 10, Nitish set to be Bihar Chief Minister for the 10th time after the historic win of NDA in the elections in Bihar. Lalu Parivar, dirty fight after poll defeat. Lalu Prasad Yadav, second eldest daughter, Rohini Acharya, says that she has walked out of the family. 7 days after the 10/11 blast, the probe continues. NIA arrests 2 aides of Delhi bomber Dr. Kumar. Karnataka drama continues in the capital as Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister land in Delhi. Dhaka court sentences exiled Hasina to death. All right, 3 decades after he stormed into Bihar's history for being the face of social justice in Bihar, the legacy of Lalu Prasad Yadav now stands at a crossroads. A political giant's past glories, they now collide with a family unraveling in the current times, now raising a question that perhaps only time can answer. Our next report telling you more.
A champion was born when a 41-year-old Yadav walked up to a microphone and turned politics on its head. Cast on the anvil of socialism, this man broke the hegemony of caste. On that day, he became the first person of backward birth to take the foremost post in Bihar. At the JP Memorial Chowk, Ganesh Maidan in Patna, Lalu Prasad Yadav was sworn in by Governor Muhammad Yunus Salim as the 25th Chief Minister of Bihar. The day was 10th of March, 1990. Fast forward a lifetime, jump a generation, the adulation for the champion, a faint reverberation of memory. The man himself ailing, coping with the scepter of a legacy squandered. The champion of the ignored castes, the messiah of social parity, the personification of Mandalism, felled by the desire to put family first. The bequest of a champion frittered away by a family man. Lalu likes to tell the story of how, when he first became the Chief Minister of Bihar, he went to his village and broke the news to his mother. He had to explain what job a Chief Minister did. A disappointed mother told her CM son, "So, you could not get a government job?"
माता का दूध और गाय का दूध दोनों बराबर है.
Family was important to the newly cast chief minister, but so were the principles that he had adopted as his own. In the initial days and months, the chief minister of Bihar functioned out of the peons' quarter at Patna Veterinary College campus, where he and his family used to stay. But there were bigger issues at play that would create the legend of Lalu Prasad Yadav, the champion of the lower castes of Bihar. In 1990, two events altered the course of Indian politics. The implementation of the Mandal Commission's recommendations to introduce reservation for backward communities, and L.K. Advani's Rath Yatra to demand the construction of a Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. In Bihar, Lalu Yadav harnessed these two political storms to turn the windmill of his ambitions. On October 1990, Lalu had Advani arrested in Samastipur and then moved to a government guest house in Masanjor near the Bihar-West Bengal border. Later that day, Lalu addressed a massive rally at Patna's historic Gandhi Maidan.
जिस हित में अगर इंसान ही नहीं रहेगा, इंसान नहीं रहेगा, तो मंदिर में घंटी कौन बजाएगा या कौन बजाएगा? जब इंसानियत पर खतरा हो, इंसान नहीं रहेगा, तो मस्जिद में इबादत कौन देने जाएगा? हम अपने राज में मतलब दंगा फसाद को फैलने नहीं देंगे. जहां फैलाने का नाम लिया और जहां बवेला खड़ा करने का नाम लिया, तो फिर हमारे साथ चाहे राज रहे या राज चला जाए, हम इस पर कोई समझौता करने वाले नहीं. रामनगर धूमनगर कोना कानी, रामनगर धूमनगर कोना कानी, असंप्रदायिक के पीठ पर थाली बाजी.
That one act of political bravery thrust Lalu Yadav into national limelight. He was the man who stopped Lal Krishna Advani. Because of his actions, the BJP withdrew support to the VP Singh government at the centre. And yet Lalu became the gallant saviour of the downtrodden and the minorities. Many years later, speaking to NDTV, he said, "I had the option of felicitating him as his Rath Yatra to Ayodhya rolled into Bihar and giving him safe passage through my state. That would have ensured that the government of the then Prime Minister VP Singh would continue. But I decided to make that sacrifice because in retrospect, any observer would say that by sacrificing my own government, we saved the country at that time."
कहीं कोनों के लौकी टूटे, कोहरा टूटे, पेटी चोरी हो जा, 100 में ललुए के हाथ हो.
Lalu's constituency were the backwards and Muslims. His becoming the chief minister gave them a sense of belonging and dignity. They believed that he was their man, ruling on their behalf for their benefit. In his first term as chief minister, he went about creating the image of a common man chief minister. He was the rustic, popular, anti-establishment underdog that the backward castes loved. But it soon became evident that within the so-called backwards, the economically rich and politically influential Yadavs began to corner most of the benefits of the Lalu Raj, while the other backwards remained poor.
Law and order was at its lowest and there was economic stagnation. That is what opponents call the jungle Raj of Bihar. There was no jungle in Bihar as such, but the lack of law and order, the lack of some kind of economic progress, and Lalu sat over it. I don't know consciously or unconsciously, but he just sat over it. He didn't do much about it, although I myself as a journalist would remind him through my writings, through my interviews. And in a famous interview, he told me, विकास और राजनीति में कोई संबंध नहीं है. I had written about it.
development matrix. Public services were severely underfunded and poorly staffed. But Lalu once said to his detractors that he might not have given the people of Bihar a swarg or heaven, but he had certainly given them swar or voice.
लालू ने जो पिछड़ी जातियाँ थी, जो दलित थे, जो कमज़ोर लोग थे, दबे कुचले लोग थे, उनको एक वॉइस दी है, एक ताकत दिया। और इसीलिए तमाम आरोपों, जंगल राज, भ्रष्टाचार तमाम के बाद भी उनके पास वो कार्यकर्ता,
The RJD with Lalu's promise of social parity held power in Bihar from 1990 to 2005. A World Bank report in the early 2000s placed Bihar at the bottom of most. But then Lalu began to change with the times. Faced with mounting allegations of corruption during the infamous fodder scam, he imposed Rabri Devi, his wife, as the chief minister, initiating a tradition where the boundary between personal allegiance and public duty began to meld. With Rabri Devi in the chief minister's chair, Lalu Prasad's brothers-in-law, Subhash and Sadhu Yadav, began meddling in the politics of the RJD. Lalu in power, or by proxy when his wife Rabri Devi was the chief minister from 2000 to 2005, meant a redistribution of political spoils to the traditionally deprived classes. But the downward spiral of Lalu's star is both tragic and staggering. From having broken the glass ceiling of caste in Bihar, to being a champion of the ignored classes, from being the iconic, lovable jester in parliament, to doing time behind bars. From being able to field an entire cricket 11 from within the family to seeing its disintegration before his eyes is a testament to the shifting tides of fortune and the ephemeral nature of political power. The conflicting narratives within his family saga resonate with battles of succession. Lalu's first son, Tej Pratap Yadav, ousted not only from the party but from the familial embrace of a prince in waiting. The expulsion of Aishwarya Rai, his estranged wife, reveals the often brutal and public nature of family politics, where personal grievances spill into political arena. The exodus of Dr. Rohini Acharya, his second daughter, followed by 3 of her sisters with their families, speak about the turbulence within this political dynasty. As the walls of the Yadav residence echo with whispers of discord, one cannot help but draw parallels to past dynasties that faced their own downfalls due to internal strife. Lalu, once a kingpin of Bihar's political landscape, finds himself grappling with the legacy of his own creation. A clan where loyalty is held hostage to ambition and family bonds are severed by the very ambitions that once bound them together.
Well, Lalu's family rift explodes, RJD turmoil deepens as the second eldest daughter of Lalu Prasad Yadav, we're talking about Rohini Acharya, has now levelled grave allegations against her family. She said that she was tortured, beaten with slippers. More about the family dispute in our next report.
The Yadav family feud has exploded. 24 hours after her allegations against Tejashwi Yadav, Rohini Acharya spoke out again, this time outside her sister Misa Bharati's Delhi residence. A teary-eyed and emotional Rohini repeated her claims against Tejashwi's wife and his aides.
ये बात जाकर तेजस्वी यादव, आप ये बात जाकर के तेजस्वी यादव
किसके शह पे हुआ है उनसे जाके पूछिए, संजय यादव से पूछिए, रेचल यादव से पूछिए, क्या नाम है उसका, ये कोई लड़के का क्या नाम था, रमीश से जाके पूछिए.
She hit out at her brother, saying the family's daughter was targeted despite sacrifices, adding that next time ask Tejashwi or his friends from Haryana to donate a kidney to their father.
जिस घर में भाई हो, भाई लोग का ही योगदान होना चाहिए. काहे सारा बलिदान बेटी लोग दी, और जब बेटी कुछ सवाल पूछे तो आप बोल दीजिएगा कि आप ससुराल में जाओ, तुम्हारा शादी हो गया है.
Rohini said all members of her family except Tejashwi are standing by her.
नहीं, पिताजी मेरे साथ हमेशा है. कल मेरे माता पिता भी रो रहे थे, मेरी बहन रो रही थी मेरे लिए. मुझे भगवान ने मुझे सौभाग्य दिया कि मुझे मेरे इस तरह के माता पिता मिले. जिस घर में भाई हो, भाई लोग का ही योगदान होना चाहिए. मैंने सिर्फ अपने भाई को अपने घर से निकाला है. मेरी बहनें, मेरे माता, मेरे पिता मेरे साथ हैं.
Even senior RJD Neta Shivanand Tiwari backed Rohini but questioned Lalu Yadav's silence.
सब कुछ हो रहा है, उनकी बेटी को उनके घर से मैंने वो कह रही है कि चप्पल उठाया गया उस पर, और चुपचाप देख रहे हैं वो रोती हुई चली गई. उसने त्याग दिया घर. तो एक बेटी जो है बाप का घर त्याग कर देती है. मैंने पति का घर तो प्यारा उसका होता ही है, लेकिन बाप का घर भी उतना ही प्यारा होता है, बल्कि ज्यादा प्यारा होता है.
Tiwari also slammed Tejashwi for snatching the post that Lalu gave him.
तेजस्वी को तो हमको जो नई कमेटी बनी, वो राष्ट्रीय समिति थे, समापन हो रहा था, नए माने राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी का चुनाव हो रहा था, तो उसमें सब कुछ अधिकृत कर दिया गया. लालू यादव को राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष चुने गए और बाकी अपनी टीम बनाने का अख्तियार जो है उनको दे दिया गया. तो नई टीम बनी, तो उसमें हम नहीं थे ना. जो राष्ट्रीय
ये सुझाव दिया इसलिए आपको हटा दिया गया कि SIR के खिलाफ तेजस्वी यादव को सड़कों पर उतरना चाहिए.
ये तो दूसरा क्या कारण है बता सकते.
Amid the unfolding family drama, estranged member of the Yadav family, Tej Pratap Yadav, also shared an emotional message on social media saying he will bury those who attack his family. What began as a personal dispute has now erupted into a full-blown political spectacle. From siblings speaking out to party veterans taking positions, the Yadav family rift is widening by the hour. NDTV Bureau Report.
All right, let's now tell you about how the argument erupted at Lalu Prasad Yadav's house. So how did this, perhaps all of this start? Let's now tell you. First, Rohini Acharya, she rather questioned the election defeat review at the meeting after the poor performance of RJD in the elections. Then after that, what happened was Rohini Acharya clearly asked the youngest son, Tejasvi Yadav, to respond to the protest against RJD MP Sanjay Yadav by the workers. So she rather questioned that to Tejasvi Yadav, and perhaps he did not like it, after which a heated exchange followed between Rohini Acharya and Tejasvi Yadav. And here, after the heated exchange followed, Tejasvi Yadav clearly said that they lost the elections because of Rohini Acharya. That's what Tejasvi Yadav said, and I'm quoting him here. We lost the election because of you. He does not just stop there. He goes forward and he says that we are cursed by you. These were the strong words that Tejasvi Yadav used for his sister Rohini Acharya. Sources also say that he threw a slipper at his elder sister. Well, that is how the dispute broke out at Lalu Prasad Yadav's house. But let's also now tell you about the family tree of Lalu Prasad Yadav, all his daughters and his two sons. Now, we do know that the family of RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav and Rabri Devi has perhaps long been central to Bihar's political landscape. They both, as you can see on your screens, they were married in 1973, and the couple raised 9 children, 7 daughters and 2 sons, each perhaps carving out a distinct identity within and beyond politics. Now, the eldest daughter is Misa Bharti, there on your screens. She is at the top of the sibling lineup, and she's armed with an MBBS degree. Now, Misa Bharti, she entered public life early and went on to serve as a member of parliament from Patliputra. So that's Misa Bharti, the eldest daughter. Then comes Rohini Acharya. Now, she is the second eldest daughter, who is also a doctor. She earned widespread admiration for donating her kidney to her father, a gesture that Rohini Acharya once described as giving just a small chunk of flesh. Now, the situation within the Lalu Prasad Yadav family escalated this week after Rohini Acharya, the second eldest daughter, alleged that she had been mistreated at the family home in Patna and unfairly targeted by individuals close to the youngest son of Lalu Prasad Yadav, Tejasvi Yadav. Then comes the third daughter, Chanda Singh. You can see her picture on your screens right now. She's rather kept a low profile, and she came out in support of Rohini Acharya, her sister, and a few days ago she also left Patna. Then comes Ragini Yadav, a Samajwadi Party figure, and Ragini, just like her other sister Chanda, came out in support of Rohini Acharya and left her father's residence in Patna. Then the fourth daughter is Hema Yadav. She is married to Tej Yadav and has rather kept a low profile. But we are talking about this family tree and the dispute here within the Lalu Prasad Yadav family, because Hema, just like her other two sisters, also came out in support of her sister, and she is rather largely out of public view. Then comes Anushka Dhanno, whose academic interests include interior design and law, and she is married to a politically active family. Then the youngest daughter is Raj Lakshmi, as you can see, and she is an engineering graduate who has also come out in support of her sister Rohini and left her father's home in Patna. So, along with Rohini Acharya, her three sisters have also left the Patna house against what has been happening with Rohini Acharya, according to what she has alleged. Then comes the two sons, as you can see on your screens. Tej Pratap Yadav is rather on my left, and then we have Tejasvi Yadav as well. Now, Tej Pratap Yadav has served as a minister in Bihar and held various public roles. Now, his journey, Tej Pratap Yadav's journey, rather took a dramatic turn in 2025. That's after Lalu Prasad Yadav expelled his elder son. So, Tej Pratap Yadav is the eldest son, and Lalu Prasad Yadav expelled him from the party for 6 years. He was also publicly disowned by Lalu last year. Now, Tej Pratap Yadav, the eldest son, has come out in support of Rohini Acharya, saying that her treatment, what Rohini Acharya has alleged, is unacceptable. And then the youngest son and the ninth child of Lalu Prasad Yadav, Tejasvi Yadav, the youngest son, and has perhaps emerged as Lalu's political successor. Now, Tejasvi Yadav, Tejasvi Yadav and Lalu Prasad Yadav, they both have so far maintained a deliberate silence. However, questions are being raised on the performance of RJD after they just secured 25 seats, despite contesting on more than 140 seats in the 243-member state assembly. And so this is about the family tree, 7 daughters of Lalu Prasad Yadav and 2 sons. Now, let's also now tell you who are Sanjay Yadav and Ramiz Khan, who seem to be the power centers around Tejasvi Yadav. What next for them? This special report tracks the rise of Ramiz Nehmat Khan, one of those in the center of the storm in the RJD's first family. Take a look.
Rohini Acharya, daughter of Lalu Yadav and the woman who once donated a kidney to her father, has quit politics and disowned her family.
का सारा बलिदान बेटी लोग दी, और जब बेटी को सवाल पूछे तो आप बोल दीजिएगा कि आप ससुराल में जाओ, तुम्हारा शादी हो गया। मैंने सिर्फ अपने भाई को अपने घर से निकाला है। मेरी बहनें, मेरे माता, मेरे पिता मेरे साथ हैं।
Rohini alleges she was pressured to step aside. And in the chaos, one name suddenly emerged. A name Bihar's political circles were barely familiar with. Meet Ramiz Nemat Khan. Unknown to many outside inner party circles, Ramiz has been a long-time friend of Tejaswi Yadav, a bond that began on the cricket field. A former cricketer himself, he captained the Jharkhand under-22 team in 2008 to 2009. Educated at DPS Mathura Road and later Jamia Millia Islamia, where he completed his BA and MBA, Ramiz joined the RJD in 2016 and quietly rose to become a part of Tejaswi's core team, handling social media and campaign strategy. His father-in-law, Rizwan Zahir, is a two-time MP from Uttar Pradesh's Balrampur. Elected on both Samajwadi Party and BSP tickets. But controversy has long shadowed the family. In 2021, during district panchayat elections in Tulsipur, Ramiz faced allegations of violence, including an attack on a Congress leader. A year later, in 2022, his wife Zeba, father-in-law Rizwan Zahir, and 3 others were arrested in connection with a conspiracy linked to the murder of Feroz Pappu, the former Tulsi Nagar Panchayat president.
ये रमीज का जो नाम इन्होंने लिया है, ये रमीज हमारे यहाँ का ही है। ये पूर्व सांसद रिजवान जहीर का दामाद है और बहुत बड़ा अपराधी है भाई। ये तो हमारे भाई के हत्या में जो है जेल में बंद था, तो इसलिए कि बिहार में इसने शरण लिया और हमें लग रहा है कि इन्हें तो बिहार में भी मारपीट करा दी और उसको भी बर्बाद करने पे लगा हुआ है।
As Rohini Acharya walks away from politics and makes serious allegations, the attention is squarely on the people around Tejaswi Yadav, especially the man who has quietly operated from the shadows. Bureau Report, NDTV.
All right, that's all that we have in today's edition of Newsnight. Thanks very much for staying with us. Come right back. Last lineup for you here on NDTV 24/7.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
We unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer and also a top Indian pro at the moment. One administrator who's doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much for starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am. Stay tuned.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind. I pause, I reflect, I dig, until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. INS Vikrant. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
क्या हाल बा क्या है ब्रेकफास्ट का इंतजाम आज सुबह यू आर वाचिंग एनडीटीवी कवरेज ऑफ द बिहार इलेक्शंस क्रिकेट स्टाइल रोबो कैम वॉकिंग अराउंड दिस इज अ वेव of a kind which was only seen last in 2010 उम्मीद से बढ़कर जहां आप जाते हैं आप पार्टी को जीत दिला रहे हैं ओवैसी एंड द बीजेपी राइट नेक्स्ट टू ईच अदर क्या हो रहा है ये आपने तो बिहार के चुनावी मैदान पे एक के बाद एक छक्के मारे आज प्रशांत किशोर in his debut election in Bihar is not headed for the ceiling results on NDTV is the top trend right now wow
बधैया आवाजे आंगने में
जो मखाना बनाते हैं वहाँ पे मैं आपको तालाब में देखा था
Digital live viewership, NDTV is right on top. NDTV has been the OG of election coverage. Everyone who's watching, thank you for your trust, thank you for your time.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities. Aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, stay tuned. The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities. Aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, coming soon, stay tuned.
मजे को दुगुना करना है मजे को 3 गुना करना है गाजी रोहन दोबारा से
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Aditi Bhardwaj and let's take a look at the top stories that we are tracking here at this hour. In the 10/11 Delhi probe blast case, NIA arrests 2 more terror suspects, including Umar, in the 10/11 Delhi probe blast case. Union Home Minister Amit Shah reiterates government's firm belief against terror in the ongoing terror probe in the Delhi blast case, says we will hunt down the culprits and punish them with strict punishment. After NDA's historic win in Bihar polls, Nitish-Kumar will take oath as Bihar Chief Minister for the 10th time on November 20th. After Rohini Acharya's exit from Lalu family, protests erupt against MP Sanjay Yadav. Party workers held him responsible for the party's defeat in the assembly elections. Amid cabinet rejig talks, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar land in the national capital. International Crimes Tribunal has convicted former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and sentenced her to death on charges of crimes against humanity. In a statement, Hasina claimed that the ruling linked to the student-led protest of August 2024 was biased and politically motivated. Now, fresh clashes have been reported in Dhaka, where Sheikh Hasina's verdict came. Tensions in Dhaka's Dhanmondi 32 area reached a breaking point. You can see in the visuals how fresh clashes erupted, and several protesters are also being reported to be injured in these clashes. Protesters clashed with the cops, and the situation spiraled soon after the verdict that came against Sheikh Hasina, where the International Crimes Tribunal delivered its verdict against former Prime Minister in a crimes against humanity case. From morning until evening, this area has been tensed. The area turned into a battleground as clashes, chases, counter chases, and the detonation of more than 100 sound grenades rocked the neighborhood. You can even hear the sound of those grenades on the visuals that are coming in. If you can just nat up. Now, Bangladesh's International Crimes Tribunal has found deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina guilty in the case of alleged crimes against humanity committed during last year's student-led agitation that led to the fall of her Awami League government. Hasina has been sentenced to death and has been found guilty on 3 accounts: incitement, order to kill, and failing to take action against perpetrators. Hasina, who is in exile, has been tried in absent. In a statement after the verdict, Hasina said that verdict announced against her has been made by a rigged tribunal established and presided over by an unelected government with no democratic mandate. The Muhammad Yunus-led interim government has denied that the trial against former Premier Sheikh Hasina was politically motivated, saying the court functioned transparently. Now, my colleague Vishnu Shom spoke to Sheikh Hasina's son, Sajid Wajid. Listen in to this exclusive conversation.
Wajid, thank you very much for speaking to us. My first question to you is, your mother has been handed the death sentence in Bangladesh. Why do you believe that this is fundamental injustice towards her?
For so many reasons. You have such an important trial that was conducted, that was finished within something like 140 days from start to finish, which that's almost impossible. They had to amend the laws to enable these trials to be fast-tracked, which only Parliament can do, and right now there is no Parliament. This is an unelected regime. The government itself is completely unconstitutional, unelected and illegal, and the verdict was predetermined. We all knew. I even said this in interviews yesterday and before this, everybody knew, all journalists as well asking. I asked the journalists, what do you think the verdict's going to be? Everyone knows this was going to be the verdict. It was a sham.
How is your mother coping with the death sentence verdict? You've spoken to her, obviously. And what's her message for her supporters in Bangladesh?
Our message is that this verdict does not matter. This is completely illegal. When rule of law returns to Bangladesh, this will not be sustainable. It will all get thrown out. And we are going to fight for the time being. We are the oldest and largest political party in Bangladesh, and we are going to fight for our rights and for democracy.
With Dhaka renewing its extradition request, India does have a 2013 treaty with Bangladesh. Do you believe that her safety, her physical safety, could potentially be at risk?
Not at all, because again, the request comes from an illegal, unelected, undemocratic government. And the trials themselves were highly illegal. So why would New Delhi comply with such an illegal request? That will never happen.
And you've been given an assurance that New Delhi will continue to defend and protect your mother?
No, I don't have any such assurances, but I just know that everything that has happened in Bangladesh for the last year and a half, and especially with these trials, has been completely illegal and unconstitutional. So it would actually be illegal of India to comply with such an illegal request.
One of the key concerns we've seen in Bangladesh are attacks on minorities, whether it's churches which have been attacked or Hindus. Is the Yunus regime failing to protect your country's secular fabric, something that your family championed?
Not only are they failing, they are actually participating in it. The Yunus regime is backed by Jamaat-e-Islam and other Islamists. And that is why in these upcoming elections, they have banned not just the Awami League, but de facto they have banned all secular and progressive parties. That is why they're doing this, in order to establish an Islamic state in Bangladesh.
You've highlighted the ISI and China's growing influence in your country. Will today's verdict, in a sense, embolden these forces? And how can the Awami League counter them from exile?
The Awami League is not in exile. The Awami League still has millions, tens of millions of supporters in Bangladesh. We've called for lockdowns over the last few days, and people have responded. The lockdowns have been very successful, and yes, we are going to fight. Our people are in Bangladesh. We're still going to fight, and unfortunately, whether anyone helps or not, we will fight.
Shifting our focus to the 10/11 Delhi blast probe, which is now focused on Amir Ali, a key aide of the alleged suicide bomber Dr. Umar. Amir Ali has been sent to 10 days NIA custody. It was under his name that the I-20 used in the attack was registered. Amir's remand copy has been accessed by NDTV, which reveals that he was involved in terror-related activities. The remand copy says Amir provided logistical and procurement support to Umar. It is also alleged that Amir assisted Umar to make IED and explosives used in the blast. Now, NIA meanwhile is probing the angle of multiple cars being procured by the Jaish terror module to target Delhi. Sources suggest that car bomb method was used to bypass layers of security near Red Fort. The cops are also on the hunt for 3 more Al-Falah doctors linked to dreaded nexus. Investigators have used footage from 40 cameras to stitch together the entire route of the accused Dr. Umar Nabi. Through this footage, the police have learned that the Hyundai I-20 car that was used in the blast passed through several sensitive and VVIP areas in the national capital before it happened on the 10th when the blast happened. Now, the probe is underway while 2 more links have been emerging. More stunning revelations in the 10/11 Delhi terror attack case emerged. NDTV has exclusively scooped details of the Jaish terror module that is part of the conspiracy. The doctors of terror had been plotting the attack in the capital for weeks, and at the center of this plot was Dr. Shaheen.
A hidden code language and a terror network led by Madam Surgeon. Dr. Shaheen, the alleged handler in the Delhi blast case, was repeatedly referred to as Madam Surgeon by members of her network. investigators have unearthed sensational details about the Doctors of Terror, the Jaish module. WhatsApp chats retrieved from her phone show a pattern of frequent calls and messages from 2 unknown numbers. Both identities are currently under investigation. Neither numbers carried a profile photo and was saved under the aliases Madam X and Madam Z. According to investigators, the messages appear to be written in a coded language. The word medicine surfaces multiple times, and agencies believe it may be a code word for explosives. One message from Madam X reads, "Medicine should not be lacking for the operation." Agencies say the word operation was likely used to refer to a planned terror attack. Another message sent by Madam Z instructed, "Madam Surgeon, please pay more attention to Operation Hamdard." Sources say Operation Hamdard was the internal codename for a recruitment drive, a push to enlist female operatives into the terror network. With each layer of coded communication now being decoded, agencies believe they are closing in on the deeper network behind the Delhi blast conspiracy. NDTV Bureau Report.
NDTV has also accessed critical forensic and CCTV-based findings on the route taken by suicide bomber Dr. Umar un-Nabi in the hours leading up to the Red Fort terror attack. The NIA says the terror module used multiple cares to evade security, and the Hyundai i20 that exploded passed through some of Delhi's most sensitive and VVIP zones. Take a look at this report.
In a major breakthrough, investigators have reconstructed the exact movement of suicide bomber Dr. Umar un-Nabi, using footage from 40 CCTV cameras across the capital. The Hyundai i20 he was driving, confirmed to be the vehicle-borne IED, can be seen moving through some of Delhi's highest security corridors. Dr. Umar drove the car around VVIP Delhi, Kartavya Path, India Gate, Akbar Road and Lodhi Road. Sources say the terror module deliberately chose a route through these VVIP zones to blend into routine high-traffic movement, making surveillance nearly impossible. Agencies believe the car bomb method was selected specifically to bypass the multiple layers of security around Red Fort. Meanwhile, the NIA has arrested Amir Rashid Ali, a resident of Pampore who allegedly conspired with Omar to execute the attack. The car involved in the blast was registered in his name. Meanwhile, the NIA has arrested Amir Rashid Ali, a resident of Pampore, who allegedly conspired with Umar to execute the attack. The car involved in the blast was registered in his name. Investigators say Amir came to Delhi to help purchase the vehicle that was turned into the IED. The anti-terror agency is now also probing whether the Jaish module procured multiple cars for attacks planned in and around the national capital. The reconstructed route is now one of the most crucial pieces of evidence, showing not just how the bomber travelled, but how the terror module navigated the security architecture of the capital without triggering alarms. The route map of Umar's final drive is helping investigators close in on the larger network behind the November 10 blast. NDTV Bureau Report.
Now, after former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah's comments on the Delhi blast raised eyebrows, another former J&K Chief Minister, Mehbooba Mufti, made a shocking statement, placing the blame on the central government for creating a poisonous environment in Jammu and Kashmir. The PDP chief went on to allege that the problems of Kashmir were expressed in front of the Red Fort, and the youth of Jammu and Kashmir are being deviated due to the poisonous atmosphere in the state. Meanwhile, BJP has hit out at Mufti and her aides, calling this statement condemnable and accusing her of playing dirty politics over terror. Earlier, remember, Farooq Abdullah had dismissed the results of Operation Sindoor and said that it was important to investigate why the doctors took up the step that they did. Meanwhile, Congress's Hussain Dalwai has questioned the timing of attack and said that the injustice in Valley will have repercussions. BJP has hit back at the Congress for justifying and defending the Delhi blast terrorists. Take a look at the reactions coming in.
लोगों को ये समझ है या वो ये सोचते हैं जितना हिंदू मुस्लिम होगा, जितना ब्लास्ट होंगे, जितना खून खराबा होगा, उतना मुल्क में पोलराइजेशन ज्यादा होगा, उनको वोट मिलेंगे। मुझे लगता है उनको दोबारा सोचना चाहिए। मुल्क कुर्सी से बहुत बड़ा है, और ऐसा मुल्क, हिंदुस्तान जैसा मुल्क, जिसको दुनिया पता नहीं किस नजर से देखती है। हिंदू मुस्लिम सिख ईसाई सब भाई भाई की तरह रहते थे, मगर आज पूरा जहर आलूद माहौल बन गया, और कहीं ना कहीं वो जहर आलूद माहौल भी जिम्मेवार है जो आज कश्मीर के नौजवान अपने रास्ते से अलग होके कोई खतरनाक रास्ता इख्तियार कर रहे हैं।
कोई ऐसी बात नहीं होगी, उससे तो कुछ नहीं निकला, नतीजा नहीं निकला। हमारे 18 आदमी मारे गए, हमारे बॉर्डरों पर नुकसान हुआ। अल्लाह करे ये दोनों मुल्क अपने ताल्लुकात बेहतर कर सके, तो वही एक रास्ता है। वाजपेयी जी की बात मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, दोस्त बदलाए जा सकते हैं, पड़ोसी बदलाए नहीं जा सकते। पड़ोसी अगर दोस्ती में रहेंगे तो दोनों तरक्की करेंगे, दुश्मनी में रहेंगे तरक्की सुस्त हो जाएगी।
कि जिस ढंग से कश्मीर में अन्याय हो रहा है उसका भी परिणाम कुछ होगा, ये मानना चाहिए। पी चिदम्बरम साहब वो भी देश के होम मिनिस्टर रहे हैं, उनको बहुत अच्छी तरह से मालूमात है, और वो पढ़े लिखे हैं। उनका अमित शाह जैसा नहीं है, वो खुद माने जाने वकील हैं। तो वो जो बोलते हैं कि अंदरूनी मामला भी इसमें होगा, अंदरूनी आतंकवाद होगा, तो इसकी जांच होना चाहिए। इसका मतलब ऐसा है कि आरएसएस जिस ढंग से प्रचार वगैरह करती है, ऋतुम्बरा का ये आया था, उनको वो छोड़े, तो क्या सरकार आरएसएस का भी जांच करेगी?
This is very unfortunate that a former chief minister is trying to instigate the youth once again. This is not a good politics. We have seen how New Delhi has taken remarkable steps for the betterment of the situation in Kashmir Valley. Attempts being made to again create trouble in the Kashmir Valley. Such statement made by Madam Mehbooba Mufti is a bad part of politics. Politics should be done on the issues for the betterment of people.
2019 का फैसला शायद नहीं होता अगर महबूबा मुफ्ती जी बीजेपी के साथ हुकूमत नहीं बनाती, जिसका आज ये रोना रो रही हैं। ये रोना बेकार है उनका, इस तबाही की वो जिम्मेदार हैं, और उनको हर घर में जाके लोगों से माफ़ी मांगनी चाहिए कि जो उन्होंने 2014 से लेकर 2019 तक किया है।
Taking a quick break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more news and updates.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
Other opposition parties.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
We unveil NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, the course of champions, the conversation of leaders.
What a stellar lineup we have here on the stage of the NDTV World Summit to announce the launch of the NDTV Pro-Am. Arguably India's greatest cricketer, one of India's most distinguished bureaucrats, a top international golfer and also a top Indian pro at the moment. One administrator who's doing more to lift the profile of Indian golf than anyone has in the recent years.
All the top champions, the Tiger Woods, will all come from India in future.
It's great to be here. Golf is growing across the globe and here in India as well.
Whereas now the opportunities are increasing a lot.
Thank you very much. You're starting golf. We want to thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I think that's very, very important.
Shifting our focus now to Bihar, where after the poll debacle, what is happening in the Lalu family? Rohini Acharya, Lalu Prasad Yadav's daughter, who is in the eye of a political storm after she slammed her own brother Tejashwi and accused his close aides of mistreating her, doubled down on her allegations while heading to Mumbai. Rohini Acharya has said that her parents stand by her and her sisters were weeping, claiming they were there when the ugly fight broke out between her and her brother Tejashwi Yadav. Rohini once again hit out at Tejashwi's aides, Sanjay Yadav and Ramiz. Tej Pratap Yadav, the estranged son of Lalu Yadav, has made strong remarks over his sister Rohini Acharya's sensational allegations against the family. He said, and I quote, "I tolerated what happened to me, but the insult inflicted on my sister is unbearable under any circumstance." Now, senior RJD leader Shivanand Tiwari, meanwhile, has hit out at Lalu Prasad Yadav, claiming that he stood silent as his daughter was beaten with slippers. Remember, this is all source-based information that Tejashwi Yadav's aides mistreated Rohini Acharya with slippers. Now, Sanjay Yadav, who is facing the ire of RJD workers, there was sloganeering against Sanjay Yadav outside the Lalu residence, where RJD workers are now blaming Sanjay Yadav for the poll defeat that was a very face saver for the Mahagathbandhan if they would have won this election. But remember, the Mahagathbandhan came down to double digits in these elections while the NDA registered a historic victory in Bihar. And now the anger is bursting out against Sanjay Yadav, where RJD workers are holding him responsible. Shifting our focus to the unfortunate news that was registered today earlier in the day. At least 42 people have died after a bus carrying Umrah pilgrims collided with a diesel tanker near Medina. Many of those who died are believed to be Indian nationals, according to a local media in Saudi Arabia. The bus was reportedly on its way from Makkah to Medina when the crash happened around 1:30 a.m. Most passengers on the bus were from Hyderabad in Telangana. The group was reportedly returning from Makkah after completing their rituals and was en route to Medina at the time of the incident, where unfortunately 42 people died. And we also have the reactions of the families of the victims who died in this unfortunate accident. Take a look.
A house in Ramnagar area of Hyderabad, and as you can see behind me, a lock on a door. This is the house from where 18 family members went on this Umrah pilgrimage to Makkah Medina, and they had in fact offered their prayers at Makkah, and then they were proceeding towards Medina when this horrific accident happened. If we just pan and show you that big numbers of people have gathered here, the extended family has gathered here. In this particular house that we are talking about, Nasiruddin, who's a former employee or retired employee of the railways, and then his wife, their 3 daughters and their families, and the families of 2 sons. Only one son who is in the US, he is the only one who has survived this particular accident. 46 people were on that particular bus. 54 people had in fact booked with the Al Makkah Tours and Travels. 4 of them had taken a private vehicle to Medina, and 4 others had in fact not proceeded further, and that's the reason why they have survived the accident. But the 46 people who were there, their vehicle was hit by a diesel tanker, after which the vehicle burnt into flames, burst into flames, and what we are seeing is that only one survivor has come out. The door has in fact been opened.